going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
All right, welcome here to Summertown. Back for a little more baseball as the Forrest Rockets are going to travel here to Summertown today for a game. If we can get it in before this rain gets here. For them, leading off will be B. Miller playing first base. Gentry will be playing shortstop, hitting in the 2-hole. Baxter is the hind catcher, hitting in the 3-hole. Fuller will be playing third base. C. Walk will be playing center field. DH for them today will be Allen. Jackson Bennett delivers the first pitch down and in for ball one. Haney's will be playing right field. Tackett will be pitching for them today, and A. Dillon will be playing left field. For Summertown, of course, you got Jackson, their lineup will be Grayson Burleson at first base. Casey Blackwood will be in center field. Jackson delivers that pitch down and in for ball two. Hitting in the 3-hole for Summertown today will be Kane Kinnick playing third base. 4-hole will be Perez in left field. Ball's going to be fouled off down the first base line by Mueller. Jackson Bennett will be hitting in the 5-hole, pitching for Summertown. Zach Staggs behind the plate, hitting in the 6-hole. Ryder Blackwood playing shortstop in the 7-hole, Keegan McCafferty in right field in the 8-hole, and Matthew Luffman in the 9-hole playing second base. That pitch, that's a good breaking pitch there, guys, for called strike. Makes the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mueller's going to step back in. Swings through that breaking pitch there for strike 3. That was another nice pitch. No, Jay Bird just got on. He called me and said, y'all not coming on tonight? So I know he's listening, so glad to have you on, Jay Bird.
Struggling with internet, of course.
Yeah, our iPad ain't working.
Is it not?
Mm-mm.
It's going to be Gentry, the shortstop, stepping in for his first at bat against Jackson. First pitch is going to be fouled off here at the plate. Baxter, the catcher, will be on deck for Forrest. Jackson comes set, deliver the 0-1 pitch. This is going to be up and away for ball one. One ball, one strike, one out, nobody on. Pitch is delivered. Be grounded foul down the first base line. Keegan's jogging over there to get it. Hurdler in. It must have kicked off the fence out into the playing field there. Jackson comes set, deliver the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. He does. Breaking pitch off the plate. Not a bad spot. Run out a little more than what I think he would have wanted.
Yeah.
Joe. You can scoot in here a little closer, Joe, if you want to. So maybe you can at least see second base. Jackson delivers. It's going to be a ground ball to first base. Grayson Burleson fields. Steps on the bag for out number 2. Down here's got 2 down. So T. Baxter. I ain't got first names for these guys.
They're down there at the bottom.
So
Tyler.
I'd say it's Tyler, number 11, Tyler Baxter, coming in. Be the hind catcher for Forrest today, hitting in the 3-hole. Jackson comes set here. First pitch, breaking pitch strike. Glad to see he's got his movement back on his pitches too.
Yeah, looks good.
Pitch is going to be up. Ball one. Jackson delivers. That's another good one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jackson comes set here, delivers this pitch. It's going to be line drive over the second baseman, Matthew Luffman's head. Keegan McCafferty blocks it up, gets it back in.
Looked like he kind of slipped out there.
Yeah. These cleats, I'm sure the grass is a little wet after it rained. It makes it even slicker because it was the rain. The sun was out while it was raining, so it makes that grass slick. It'll be Kason Fuller, number 24, playing third base for Forrest Rockets today. Steps in with a runner on.
2 outs.
Fastball for a strike. Good location.
Yeah, that's a good
Ball
spot right
down
there.
on that outside corner. Jackson's going to pick over to first. He's back easy. It's going to set here, delivers to home. It's going to be ball away. Make it 2 balls, 1 strike. Pick back over to first. Back safe. Jackson delivers. Ball's going to be popped up here on the infield. Should be Grayson Burleson making the play. It is. Be the 3rd out of the inning. Do give up 1 hit. Let a runner get on there, but get out of it pretty easy. We'll take a little.
Good to see Jackson have an inning like that.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad to see Jackson back on the mound after some of his injuries and stuff. Just hope he can stay out there and make a game out of it.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a little break. It's Summertown Baseball on X Sports Network. All right, back here at Summertown. High school field. So Grayson Burleson is going to step in for his first at bat here against Tyler Tackett. Tackett's going to come set here, ready to deliver. He does. Grayson swings first pitch, breaking pitch, swings to it for a strike. Tackett is a lefty. Over from the other side, that's a pretty good looking breaking pitch he threw there.
It looked good.
Had quite a bit of movement on it. She's going to take that one down for a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Tackett delivers this one. Grayson's going to hit a ground ball over the third baseman. It's fielded clean. Throw it over to first. With the first out of the inning. Ball hit over to Baxter. Nope, sorry, Fuller at third.
That'll bring up Case and Blackwood with 1 out.
Kaysen swung a hot bat Tuesday night here.
Yes, he did.
Think you got to be patient for this lefty here and make him bring you something. Kaysen's going to swing at first pitch, pop it up here to the second baseman. Going back. Does make the play for the second out of the inning. 2, 3, 4 pitches.
4 pitches and 2 outs. Pretty effective so far.
Very effective so far. Bring up Summertown's third baseman, Kane Kinnick. Steps in to see the lefty for the first time today. Pitch is going to be just a little outside.
Just a little?
Well, the catcher didn't even try to catch it. So can we say a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that come out of the lefty's hand funny or something. Catcher didn't even try to get to it for ball 1. Kane's going to take that pitch down. Ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here. Pitcher comes set here, delivers. That ball's going to be up and in on Kane, makes it 3-0.
I would like to say he's going to watch this one all the way.
Yeah, I don't think he's swinging. He takes that fastball for a strike.
Got to be looking for something like that again.
Yeah. Still 3-1. If it ain't right there, then, I mean, now you've seen it. If it ain't right there, we're taking it.
Exactly.
Swings through that pitch for strike 2.
Make the count full.
Now you got to go back to work here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitcher comes set here. Delivers. Swings through that one for strike 3. Be the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. That ain't no way to start.
No, it's not.
We'll take a little break. This is Summertown Baseball on X Sports Network.
Center in Lawrenceburg is your go-to stop to complete your home, business, a combination of both, or really anything you can think of. With one of the region's biggest selection of bedroom furniture, name brand mattresses, recliners, living room and dining room suites, accents for the home or office, quality name brand appliances, and did I mention Swap and Shop Services what they sell? This is family owned and operated business at its best. And the best part is, they'll treat you like family too.
We got bedroom suites, mattresses, dining room suites, appliances, outdoor equipment, mowers, and more. See us at the Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
All right, back here at Summertown. Not a great offensive start for either team.
Will's still currently working on the iPad that controls the scoreboard on the screen. So
And the internet. We'll try to keep y'all updated as far as we can because no changes for nobody. It's going to be the 5-0 hitter for C. Walk coming in. Be Forrest's center fielder today.
all right, so far it's showing up on the screen whenever I.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Ball's going to be grounded.
What a play!
Great play. Yes, sir. Good play right there by Matthew Luffman, making a diving play over in the 3-4 hole to make that play. Back up his knees to throw the guy out at first.
Great
Of course,
play
they're
over
arguing it. Umpire called him out. Their coach is saying Grayson pulled his foot. Grayson done a good job over there. If we can see it in the replay, I think Grayson was still on when it hit his glove. It's going to be hard for this home plate umpire to overturn that because Grayson was actually stretched towards right field.
Yeah, I mean.
Yes, they do
Hard,
call him out.
I mean, that's a hard play to overturn.
It is.
If you're at home
It's
plate.
even hard to see on the replay.
There it is. Slow motion.
Yeah, you can't really see
It's
when
hard
the ball.
to tell when he catches
You
it.
can't
right there.
tell where he hit his glove on the replay there, so it's kind of hard for us to tell. But the umpire does call him out. It's going to bring up the DH Allen, lefty, stepping in the box.
We do got one out.
Be Luke Allen. Oh, pitch must have been up just a little bit. That's
Had
a
to
good
have been.
pitch.
As far as, it looked kind of like it broke right down the middle from
Yes,
sitting where I'm at.
May have stayed up just a little. That's going to throw that fastball. Going to be fouled off down towards the concession stand.
I parked on the other side of your big blue truck, Timmy, hoping that it would keep baseballs off of
protect
my
you.
vehicle.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Jackson delivers here. Ball's going to be slapped into left field. It's going to get down. Perez is coming across, going to field. He's going to hold him to a single.
That'll bring up number 6, Haynes. Runner at first, 1 out.
Coach running through his signs does bring our third baseman in on the grass. Ball's going to be hit right back up the middle. Matthew Luffman makes another diving play. Stops that ball back up the middle. Flips it to second base for 1 out.
What a play there. He's bound and determined to make some plays over today, it looks like, Timmy.
Yes, sir. I like to see it. I like to see his want and his drive.
Jackson's new best friend today.
Maybe he didn't think his white pants get dirty enough, so he wanted to make sure there's
Make sure. Now we've got grass stains and dirt stains on. So here with 2 outs after 2 great plays by our second baseman, Matthew Luffman. Jackson comes set here and delivers. Pitch is going to be up. Ball 1. Pick over to first. He gets back safe. Jackson comes set here. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first base. Delivered, going to be a strike on the inside corner. Jackson delivers this pitch. Be a called strike.
nice
There's
breaking pitch right there.
There's that pitch come in there. He got him with that one. Pick over to first. He's back easy. Just keeping him close over there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner standing at first base. He held up on that one. That wasn't a bad pitch.
No, it wasn't.
I believe it was off the plate a little bit. Not a bad call by the umpire, but that's a good spot. He wanted it bad.
You know, that's a good pitch to get somebody to try to chase on right there.
Yeah, it was close. They got him close over there, but I think he did get back. See, now he's got a muffin mitt on. He's got that extra 4 inches of reach. I am complaining about the muffin mitts again, guys.
Ah.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jackson comes set here, picks over to first. This is Tyler Tackett here at bat, the pitcher for Forrest today. Pitch swung through, fouled into the mitt, be strike 3. Jackson gets him a strikeout.
Another good inning there by Jackson.
Absolutely. We'll take a little break. This is Summertown Baseball on X Sports Network.
If you want the best clean and wash experience, you need to catch the happy wave at Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Don't settle for streaks, dirt residue, water spots, and weak vacuums that you can get at just any car wash. At all our locations, you will be greeted by a smiling attendant who will pre-wash your car front and back to remove any stubborn bugs and dirt before guiding you through the tunnel, where your car will be treated to the ultimate spa treatment with state-of-the-art equipment and one-of-a-kind wash experience that will give your car a showroom shine. Afterwards, you can help yourself to our free powerful vacuums, cleaning cloths, and glass and surface cleaner for the perfect finishing touch. When it comes to caring for your car, don't settle for any wash and pay for all the extras. Get the best when you catch the happy wave at your local Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
All right, we're back here. As Aiden Perez is going to step in. Been swinging a hot bat as of late.
Had a really good game the other night against Loretta.
He did. Mr. Will Pettis has got everything figured out. He's going to join us on the broadcast now.
I think I do.
Be ball 1 out.
Test, 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 check, check. Yep.
Yeah, you're there. Pitcher delivers. Perez is going to hit one into left field. It's going to be hard to get to. He's going to get down for a base hit. He just kind of took and fisted that one out there. Continue his hot streak.
Good to get that leadoff base runner on too there, Timmy.
Oh, absolutely. Jackson Bennett coming in. Jackson can't help himself here a little.
You know, Perez has got some pretty good wheels over there. He needs to be weary of this lefty on the mound, though.
Yes.
Thought
He ain't seen his move over there yet.
thought Aiden had swung at a really inside pitch there, but got it down for a hit.
Jackson's going to foul that one back into the net here in front of us. Totally new umpiring crew here tonight.
Looks like someone's here to do music.
Pitcher comes set here, delivers. Jackson's going to hit that ball into center field. He's going to get down for a base hit. Perez is going to score. That ball's going to go all the way to the wall. No, it don't.
No, it slowed
He must have
way
touched
up.
him. Perez is going to score. line drive. That's a good RBI right there for Jackson. I think they're going to get a runner out there for Jackson. As he's pitching for us today.
Bring up catcher Zach Staggs. We do have a runner at second.
No outs.
No outs. We did plate our first run. Mason Neal came in.
Mason
to run
Neal. I
there.
was fixing to ask who that was.
I think he's our go-to runner.
It's going to be a called strike on that inside corner there. That catcher set up outside, and that pitch run back in on the batter. Squares the bunt. Going to get the bunt down third baseline. Nobody at first base to cover. Good job right there by Zach. Great job right there. Don't see it a lot from your hind catcher, but
No.
Zach's got some wheels.
He can get down the line pretty well. We got a runner first and third.
I'm just excited to see a bunt get down.
Me too.
That is awesome.
Going to get a courtesy for Zach, being our hind catcher today.
Max Dillard be the courtesy runner there. You know, Max has got some pretty good wheels too.
He does.
Timmy.
Look here.
Mr. Coach Greg Bartison going to come in and
We'll see about that.
join us here in the booth. Brings up Ryder Blackwood, swing from the left side with 2 on.
Big called strike on the outside corner there.
The strike zone's pretty wide today.
Yeah.
But he's calling it both ways. Tackett's going to release this one. It's going to be in the dirt. He is going to move Max Dillard up. Catcher does a good job blocking it up, but Max is moving as soon as he sees it in the dirt. It's a good read by him.
Yeah.
It is shining. You've got to blind me in here. You ain't got a hat to put on that thing?
Bring a hat today.
Ryder steps back in. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Runner standing at second and third. Stackett comes set. Releases this one. Ryder's going to take that one down and away for ball 2. Comes set here and delivers. Ryder's going to swing through that one. Hit it at his daddy standing at first base. Brent ducked, but I don't think he had to. No taller than he is down there. It cleared him by about 2 foot.
Everybody stay tuned for the Greg Burleson interview that's coming up here in a few minutes.
We'll have to get Coach Burson on here.
He's already committed to it, so he can't back out now.
Ball's going to be hit right over the shortstop's head for a base hit. He is going to get down, going to score Neal from third. Dillard would move up to third. Ryder Blackwood now staring at first base.
Brings in score 2-0.
Brings in our right fielder, Keegan McCafferty.
Still no outs?
No outs. Catcher's going to go through his first and third signs.
Now that I said Greg's going to be interviewed, you know our viewers are going to shoot up.
You think?
Yeah.
We'll see. they may all leave.
Might bring down the internet, knowing that he's about to talk.
Still no outs.
I wonder if that's why we're having internet problems, because he's walking up here.
Runner at first and third.
Yeah.
He may have went over and cut us off over there.
He may have. Yeah. T-cap week.
We've picked over the first a couple of times here. They're trying to keep Ryder pretty close. Delivers this one to the plate. Keegan's going to take it down and in. Ball one. I know their number one guy, Mueller, they're playing first base for him tonight, and he's
Looked like he had a knee brace.
he's struggling back from a knee surgery that he had and just can't quite get it all back together, but he is getting stronger and trying to throw some bullpens here and there. He's a very legit pitcher. I know his dad's listening. I can't remember exactly where he told me he committed. If he could send me a text and let me know that, that would be appreciated, Jay Bird. And I know you're on there because you told me you had to work, but I'm sure you're. I think it is MTSU. I believe it was MTSU.
That'd be a nice close drive for him.
Yeah. They've got Ryder hung up. Well, they get nobody. And Dillard don't move over at third, but Ryder does get into second base safe. So.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
So we do have runners second and third now.
Keegan swings through that one for strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs, 2 on. Summertown has plated 2 runs.
So, Timmy, let me ask you while we're playing this, did everybody get a hit against Loretta the other night?
I'd have to go back and look and make sure, but I think so. I think everybody had at least one. Everybody, the starting 9.
Of course, most of them came in the 6th inning.
Yes,
but
had some with multiple. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Umpires backing their players back into the dugout down there. Pitch is delivered. Keegan's going to swing through that one.
Bring the
As
count full.
Coach Burleson saying the same thing I'm thinking, and Greg standing behind me saying it. Hit the ball backside. You got a runner standing second, third with no outs. Looks like we're trying to pull the baseball out of the park. Pitch is going to be inside for ball 4. We'll bring up our second baseman, Matthew Luffman, and if he hits the baseball, anything like he's fielded the baseball today, we're going to score 3 right here.
He's going, yes.
At least. So their coach is going to come out and have a little break. I don't know if he's swapping or not, but we'll take a little break with him. This is Summertown Baseball on X Sports Network. All right, we're back. Was not a pitching change. Just went out and had a conversation with him. Bases loaded. Matthew Luffman steps in with no outs.
Infield's in.
Feels all in on the grass. Matthew swings through that one. First pitch.
So looking to get a play at the plate.
I feel like we're trying to just this kid's not just bringing the heat, but I feel like we're trying to just turn on it and hit it somewhere where we just slap the thing in the right field here.
He tried.
Matthew, I think Matthew changed his approach a little bit there. That looked a lot better. It does go down 0-2. Grayson Burleson on deck.
Well, Forrest has their radio crew here. They're always that old couple there.
They've been doing it for years.
They come to softball,
baseball, basketball, you name it. They show up and do it.
And I figured with the weather like this, they probably wouldn't show, when it was going to rain. But They brought their ponchos, and they're ready.
Tackett comes set, delivers here to Matthew. Going to drive that ball in the right field. Good piece of hitting right there by Matthew Luffman. I like to see that. He did. He just waited on that ball to travel and took and hit a line drive through the 3-4 hole.
You know, he must have heard you through the window. He had the window open.
He may not have heard me, but I guarantee you if Kane has another swing like he did his last at bat, he will hear me through his window. So anybody that's on the radio, y'all just go ahead and prepare.
But, I mean, he hit it right where y'all told him to.
When Kane comes up to bat, I'll keep my finger on your mute buttons. That way I can
that
shut
ain't
it
going to do
down.
no good. It's going to be loud enough they hear me in yours.
I mean, I'll shut all three of them down.
Okay. Grayson Burleson's going to step in now. Summertown has plated 3 runs.
They'll have to be here to hear you.
No outs. And Grayson's going to hit that ball deep in the left field. Don't think he didn't. Left fielder does make the play. Catches it. He is going to get a runner in from third base and Ryder Blackwood. Be the 4th run Summertown's played. That wind's blowing straight in. You're going to have to hit it pretty well to get it out of here today.
Yes, you are.
It's a good catch.
It was.
Bring up Case and Blackwood.
The sun's right in his eyes.
We got 1 out, runners
In
first
Blackwood's
and second.
eyes? Or?
Well, it looks like it.
Well, nah, he just squints like that. Stackett's going to some set with a runner standing at first and second, 1 out. Blackwood shows bunt. First baseman, Mueller comes.
By the way, unofficially,
Miller.
I think I saw on the schedule we play at Forrest next Wednesday. You know, that was
Yes.
a rain out from earlier in the
Yes, sir.
season.
Stackett's going to come set here. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, 2 on. Mason squares the bunt.
You know,
Wants it fouled down
we
the third
get,
baseline.
of course, Greg's sitting here. If we get Greg to move his Monday Forrest game to Wednesday, we could call both of them from right there in that
Same
press
spot.
box. Yeah.
Just hang out up there.
So, Greg, make it happen. Yeah, just cancel Loretto.
Yeah, you ain't got to play Loretta. They can just go ahead and give you that win.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason Greg's here today. If y'all didn't know, so they were supposed to be. He's supposed to be in Loretta right now, beating them, but instead, they were rain. You know, Loretta got rain, and we didn't get nearly as much, and their game got canceled.
Casey's going to show bunt early. It's going to be foul again.
We really struggled with that right there.
We've struggled getting bunts down all year. Well, I don't know what you have to do to get these guys to bunt, but
We thought of things earlier in the year to try to incentivize
yeah, we actually
them.
tried to pay them. To bunt.
Well,
And
I said like Jake Pettis would carry your books for a week. You know, if you
Yeah.
get a bunt down, and I know.
and somebody got a bunt down that day. Did he carry their books?
Well, remember it ended up being Zach Staggs, and he's a second semester senior.
Yeah, he said he didn't have
So
no
he don't
books.
have any books.
Yeah, he said he didn't have no books.
He's the one that got a bunt down today.
Yeah, he's the one that got the bunt down.
Yeah.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out.
That might be it.
Yeah, I agree, Coach Burson. He said he thinks they miss him on purpose sometimes.
So
Well,
they
the
can
other
swing on the
night,
third. Yeah.
Ryder was 1-2, and he still tried to bunt.
Yeah. That was at Loretta, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ball's going to be in the dirt. Ball 2.
Band's having a concert over there. That's why you see some people walking into the school.
Good to see. How long has it been since our band had a concert?
I don't know if they used to do one every spring.
No, they used to. But it's
Seems
been-
a little
it's been
early.
it's been a few
Usually it's
years.
closer to the end of school.
That'll be ball 3. Bring the count full.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Kane Kinnick, third baseman for Summertown, standing on deck.
They should just come here and play in between innings after they're done. Be something new.
Casey steps in. Tackett's going to release this pitch home. Casey's going to hit a ball through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. Going to move everybody up. That's the reason they miss bunts, so they get to hit a ground ball that.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Kane Kinnick, bases loaded, 1 out.
All right, have the mute button ready there, Joe.
I got you.
I'm gonna be calm, guys. I told his mama.
I say you called those 2 Loretta games and were so calm. If you get riled
He
up
didn't
at a
swing
Forrest
like
game,
this.
yeah.
Did you see him swings?
If he hits a grand slam here,
It's gonna come set here and deliver. Pitch is gonna be away for ball 1.
yep.
Yeah, whoever laid this field out must have missed it just a little. Yeah. This Kane called time there. 1 ball, no strikes. Bases loaded with 1 out. Kane Kinnick standing in here. Pitch is going to be up. Ball 2. RBI, something through the infield right here. Pitch is going to be down. Makes it 3-0. See what Coach Bartleson done. Pitch is going to be up for ball 4. Hey, that's an RBI. That's a good way to get it. We didn't have to swing that time.
I didn't have to mute it.
It's going to bring up Aiden Perez, which has been absolutely hot with this bat, guys.
So,
I mean, it's
he led off the inning, did he not?
Yes.
So we have batted around.
Yes, we have. He led off the inning with a base hit. Scored the first run. Tackett's going to come set. Going to hit a ground ball toward the shortstop. He fields, flips the second for 1 out to first to not get the other one. And Kane went in out there pretty hard at second. Does score another run. Now they have 2 outs. Runner standing at.
That's a nice play by the shortstop.
It was. Runner standing at first and third. We'll bring up Jackson Bennett.
You know, he's been he's been resting the dugout for a long time. It's been a long at bat.
He has.
Hope he's been throwing some over there.
Jackson's going to hit the first pitch back towards the second baseman. Picks, throws over to first. It's 3rd out of the inning. Summertown does plate 6 runs right here.
Hey, let's keep it here.
We'll
I'm
keep it right
I'm
here.
glad Greg's here to see this. In fact, Joe, hand him your headset. I want him to see what he thinks of these highlights from
Come on now.
1991. I'll pull him on the screen here. As Charlie Mabry introduced him there, he's called him Big Tim Kinnick. And this is a game against New Prospect at Lawrence County High School. And Timmy is number 42. And these are I call this segment Timmy's Time Machine as we go back and look
Timmy's
at
time machine.
previous moments from Timmy's life and career.
Man, he's a foot taller than everybody.
I know.
I was 2 years older.
He's like me. I was the tallest guy in the 6th grade and the shortest guy as a senior.
And he has
Hey, look there, he got it.
interesting free throw form.
Hey,
that
they
he
work.
has.
They work. Was I not
But
the
now
high
look,
score?
I want to point this out. He's really quick to, like he gives people the evil eye right there. Towards the end of this game, he gets intentionally fouled. I hope we have time to get to that part. If not, I'll come back to it. And Coach Killer, is the coach. His hair's a little.
Number 22 right there is
Sporting a
Anthony
nice
Davenport.
wig,
Yeah.
There's
Doug Riggs is on there. Some of the softball players coming here getting on.
Yeah. Oh, and I want you to see Timmy's dribbling skills. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh my God.
Look at this. Behind the back.
Look at this pass.
That's a
Yeah.
G,
That was perfect.
G McBee camps. He's
Yeah,
going to
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Guaranteed it was. Okay, we're done with the basketball. Come on. Look,
No.
I bring the ball down the court.
Now look at that. Between the legs. I mean.
This has been the best part of my day so far.
Come on, Greg.
Yeah. All right. So, Greg, you just stay on here with us.
First pitch is going to be a ball. Greg went up. I come up and called some of the softball game last night. Got to watch y'all play. Got to talk about you a little bit on the radio, and I actually thanked you on the radio for what you've done. I got thinking about it. I mean, you go back to what this baseball field looked like when you got here. To what
Well,
it looks like now.
I showed the video of what it looked like
Yes.
in '86,
Yes.
you know, and it really didn't look a whole lot better than that when y'all played in.
No, 92,
early
90.
90s.
No, it didn't. And and then the softball field, same way. I mean,
Those are cool videos to see, though. Like
They
it
are.
brings back a lot of memories
They
seeing
are.
those.
But I think you deserve a lot of credit for what you've done. How long have you coached? Give me a year. How many years you been?
Well,
at
I helped
Summertown?
Mr. Haddock 2 years, Coach Haddock in 2000, 2001, and then he retired. He wanted to go watch Trent play, so Trent was going to Motlow to play, and so he took off to go watch him, and so I took it in 2002, and then coached him through 2013. I think 14 was my first year of softball.
So what years did you make all these changes here at this field? Did you play a year or two without dugouts and stuff? or-
02 was the first year, and we had a group of dads come in, and we built this press box, and we moved I was thinking about that earlier. People used to talk about a ton of home runs, and we played on these fences too, but I think when we shot it with the transit stuff, it was like 12 or 13 inches lower from home plate to left field, and it was about 285 is what we measured it. So it was kind of a short fence, and we backed home plate up about 20, 25 feet from what it was back in.
Ball's going to be hit off Jackson there.
Yeah.
Pitching. Wasn't much he could do with that one. That runner is going to be safe at first base as nobody really had a chance to play it. But
We did. We backed home plate up, and then probably right now where the umpire is and the battery is where we actually had that one dugout, for years
yes.
where the fence was at. So we backed everything up a little bit and then brought in some sod when they used to have the sod farm up here by Debbie's store. And those guys come up and had it like rolls of hay, and we'd have it on the tractor. So a lot of the dads and players.
It's going to be a base hit through the 5-6 hole. Ryder Brightwood makes a diving play, gets by him as Forrest has something going here. That was Mueller led off the inning with a base hit, and then that was Gentry. He's going to bring up Baxter, their catcher. Leadoff struck out. Sorry, no. The leadoff's it.
They got one out.
There's one out.
Well,
I think I
that's the
was
leadoff.
talking through that.
Leadoff
Yeah, I
would have been
think
their
it-
9-hole hitter. Because,
Yeah.
9-hole hitter, sorry. But
Well, so and then what year did the lots come?
We did that in 02. We did everything all in 1 year basically.
Was it all during an off season, like to start the fall? And
We started the fall, and we brought in sod and did that first thing in the fall, and then we went in and got the lights and put those up in the fall. And GE come up and had a blueprint for us, and
ball's going to be flared out into right field. Keegan Crafty comes and makes that play, gets it in for the second out of the inning.
that'll work.
no tag. It's good. But anyway, we got the light stuff, and GE come up and did a test and showed us how that if we wanted to hook everything up to save some money, that we could do the hookup. So everything was drawn out on a plan like A, B, C, D, and so we come in, and a lot of parents did we had some great parents early there that helped out, and we did that. And then they brought a crane in and stood, and we did it for both fields at the same time. So we had 10 poles brought, 6 for here and 4 for the softball field, and put those up in 02, I believe it was. So pretty much all of that, this field was pretty much redesigned, I guess, in 02. It's kind of where we had the grass and stuff.
So, Greg, did you put this press box here that we're in here today?
I don't know whether to say yes or no to that.
Yes,
answer.
he
Well,
did in 02. That's how old it is.
I just want to point out this old computer that's right here. It looks like the very first computer I had when I was in the 6th grade. I just wondering if that was something you had put in here.
I noticed that, and I noticed those stereo back here that had cassette tapes on it. I was thinking, I think I had that when I was like 16 back in high school that we used
That we
for
used
the
out
first
here on the
year,
field.
and it's still sitting up here. So, but.
Hey, I want everybody to see the end of this Timmy video real quick. I know everybody just wanting to see it all, but There's
You're
this,
awful
They've been on the
you're
edge of their seats since
They
we
have.
started.
Yeah.
well, there's just one play at the very end where he gets intentionally fouled, and Timmy don't like it very much. I just want to make sure everybody got to see that.
I kind of like the highlights you've done because I
Yeah.
watched this game when you sent it to me.
There it is. Watch this. He got fouled. Look at the look he gives his kid when he gets up. Like, oh, you're going to get it.
God, I think he had 40 that night. The way it
Yeah,
looked.
he was the leading
I was
scorer.
the lead scorer.
He was the leading scorer that night.
So, Greg, your softball team this year. I know the worst team you've ever coached. What year did you go over?
2014 was my first
and they've
year.
got worse every year.
Every year.
Every
no
year
doubt.
they've got worse.
It's bad coaching. It's like
Bad
we're
coaching.
killing the program.
Killing the program.
telling you.
I have to say no on that.
Well,
But
and I want to say, Greg, your first year coaching them at softball, you went. It was close to 500, right? Like close to a 500 record.
Yeah, we were probably like 16-16 or 18-16, something like that. Probably.
But never had a losing record, and it just got better and better from there.
Yeah, we're going to need some more rainouts to finish this season. Keep that from happening. Teams we got for these last 2 weeks, man, it's going to be tough.
You do have some. Yeah, I noticed you have. Is Eagle going to be coming here?
We've got Eagleville, McNary Central, which won a 3A state, Green Hill, which won a 4A state. Eagles in the championship. We've got Forrest next week.
Yeah.
Zion, which is playing really well right now, and then of course we're going to play Loretta twice. So I mean, there's nothing on the schedule that you're looking forward to right now, but we need it for the to get ready for the postseason. So that's what's most important.
I understand that district tournament's going to be at Mount Pleasant this year. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Where we were last night.
Right.
So y'all rotate y'all's.
Yeah, we rotate every year, and then now that they're redoing the districts about every 2 years now, so it depends on who comes in and out of your district, depending on where it goes. So used to, when we started in, we were doing single A and baseball and everything, we just rotate it by alphabet. So
ball's going to be drove into right field. Right fielder's going back. Yeah, he does make the play. Zach Staggs hits that out there.
Yeah, used to just rotate alphabetical order every year, and then teams started coming in and out of the district. And 1 year we was CA Mount Pleasant and plus R5 that we had. I mean, it was 7 or 8 teams, and then now we've actually down to 4, which is tough, I guess.
That's kind of aggravating.
Now,
but how are you looking in the district? I've kind of watched you play. You've got 3 pitchers this year. I've noticed you're throwing 3 girls, which is kind of you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, we've not been sticking with one girl, every night or every game in the tournament, trying to get them a lot of work. So we're getting them, watching pitch counts and trying to keep them in that 80 to 100 range every night. And then, a lot of games we've pitched 2 innings on purpose, just to kind of let the batters see somebody different. And
I'm sure that's nice to have.
And you kind of want to learn, who does well in different situations. Who's going to, if it's 1-to-1, who do you want on the mound, or if it's we got a good lead, or if you got a team that's power hitters or small ball or whatever. So you kind of test them out depending on who you're playing to see who you want to throw what game in the postseason.
Well, that's a luxury that a lot of softball coaches don't have. I mean, in baseball you have to develop your pitch. In softball you see a lot of one-pitch ponies that you roll into, and if you figure them out, then you've pretty well got them. But watching you, it looks like you're pretty deep even on the bench this year. I mean, what I've got to see, I mean, you're.
Well, you know how it was when Maddie played. We had, she was having to pitch 25 games a year.
Yes.
Until we had some of those young kids come up.
Until Kaylee Campbell got there.
Yeah, until Kaylee's group. Yeah. And we had some more guys come in and could fill some innings, on some of the tournaments on the weekends and things. And you kind of went with your best, obviously, during on the district games. But give everybody some work, especially young kids on those weekend tournaments. You go play 4 and 5 games, 6 games a weekend. You got to have some arms.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So, Greg, is this because I'm watching with an uneducated eye, of course, but just looking at the scores, against some of these really strong teams, you put up quite a few runs against Eagleville. You put up quite a few runs against Forrest. And then you'll play Lewis and Mount Pleasant, and you might score 4 runs in those. So is it just a certain type of pitching that are they actually?
That's what's getting me about 3 hours of sleep every night, I think, honestly. But it's surprise. I mean, it's hard to coach honestly because you don't know what team's going to show up every day. And right now, there's not, like I said, there's not really an easy team. Teams that maybe you've had success against in the past, people are playing a lot of travel and they're playing year round. And so everybody's pretty good now. I mean, it's not, you can't take a day off and we've had some strong teams the last couple of years, and we're having to fill some void of some of those players right now too. And so we're having to do some things different. I mean, it's like everybody that coaches high school. You don't get to choose your kids every year. So if you like to man up and hit home runs, but you don't have a team that does that this year, so you've got to adjust and play small ball, or maybe you don't have somebody throwing 70 miles an hour, so you got to do something else. So coming up and trying to find, and that's what we're still doing that right now. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you what our lineup's going to be tomorrow and who's going to play where and what order we're going to bat. It changes probably the most that I've ever changed the lineup since I've been coaching all these years is, trying to find something that works well. Who's going to get a couple of hits back to back, because we've been streaky. Like you said, we'll come out and score 4 or 5 runs an inning and then have 4 innings and not go more than 3 or 4 batters. So
y'all scored most of y'all's yesterday in the first. It looked pretty good in the first inning. Come out, scored 2 runs, and then just kind of went flat.
And that happened the night before here against Lewis County, right? You scored all your 7 runs in the first couple innings.
And 3 up in the first, 3 up in the second, and then went cold until like the 5th or 6th inning, and then did the same thing last night, scored a couple. And, it's just you get in that funk, I guess. And we get aggressive. When you're not hitting real well, you start swinging at first pitches and just whatever they throw. And so you make it worse on yourself hitting than being patient. And so we had a game or two a while back. It was the Eagleville game. We was swinging bad pitches early, got down 6-0. And it was just like, okay, from this point forward, we're not swinging until you get a first pitch strike. And so when you get a strike, we're going to swing. And all of a sudden, we had base runners, scored 5 runs in the inning, and actually scored 7. Took a 7-6 lead because we just changed our approach at the plate.
Wow.
And
we know, and that's their star pitcher, right?
Oh yeah, Litton she's going to Clemson, I believe, and then
you've met up with her in the state tournament before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the 2021 year.
Yeah, her 8th grade year was the year we beat them in the championship game, and her and the shortstop, the Bain girl, which is going to Arkansas, I believe, is what I heard.
So again, that's one of the state's best pitchers that you put that many runs on the board against, and that's why I wondered, because you see that in baseball, so you get used to swinging 90-mile-an-hour pitches, and then somebody throwing 74 comes in, and they struggle. I didn't know if that applied in softball as well.
Maybe we were closing our eyes and just swinging at the faster
Just swinging at the faster stuff, you think?
That may be what it is.
So you've been doing it for that ball's going to be bunted. It's going to be down. Jackson Bennett fields it, throws the first. Runner is going to be safe.
Nice bunt.
So we're 22 years, 23 years. So how long? How long are you going to be here?
Ooh.
I'm going to put you on the spot,
No, you don't have to answer that, Greg.
You don't have to answer it.
Hey, let me. But I do want.
We're going to get another 10 out of you.
Oh no.
Well, hey, Greg. I thought Greg's got all this experience putting fields together and stuff. If we're going to move to a new complex by the football field, let's keep Greg around
Greg and let him
I know he's got the energy to put 2 more fields up.
Surely.
Unless something happens, I built my last one. I can tell you.
Well, I do want to ask you this question. I'm sure you've been asked this a lot, but you coached a long time baseball, a long time softball. And so compare the experiences of, coaching girls, coaching boys, or coaching baseball where you have pickoffs and the rules slightly different. So just compare the 2 experiences, baseball and softball.
Now baseball seems like it lasts forever when you went to softball. Like the game is so much quicker, and it's right now, I mean, women's sports and basketball and softball is like crazy how many people are getting into those games. And we went out to the College World Series last year in Oklahoma and watched series, and, man, it's just crazy how many people are out there and how big the sport's getting. But you can mow a lot faster. You can the games are an hour and 15 minutes, those kind of things. So the quickness of the game, but now the toughest part is the coaching of the game too, because if you're not thinking 2 or 3 batters ahead in softball, you will. My first year going from baseball to softball, I don't care to admit, man, it was a whirlwind of trying to keep up, like being ahead of every batter and where we're going with the play and things like that, because it is so fast compared to baseball. Because you can sit here and you can have your guy step off and pick off 3 times if you're not exactly sure what play you want to run on first and third. So, you can. So that's the biggest difference. Girls, man, they really work hard in the weight room, the off season. I mean, I was really surprised going from boys to girls, because the boys, we always had hard-working teams and things, but it really surprised me. I was afraid, doing off-season work, that the girls might not put in the time just from not coaching girls, I guess. And, man, they in the weight room and off-season,
That's a question me and Adam Lindsay talked about last night. He asked me because, which I've coached both. I've coached travel ball, softball, and baseball. And he said, so who's easier to coach? I said, the girls. I said, to me, the girls work harder. They show when they get there, they're going to do what they're supposed to do, and they're going to work. And, when Coach Willard said something, they brought up last night in the basketball, he said that the girls, you didn't have to coach the NBA out of them. Well, I feel like the boys, the boys the same way on baseball. You got to figure out how to coach the MLB out of them, because you've got a majority of them that thinks they're going to MLB, and so you got to try to coach it down and coach that out of them. And girls ain't like that. No. The girls I've coached over the years is just so much they work harder, and they don't care if you run a 4-hour practice. They're going to stand there and take ground balls till you're tired of hitting them. Boys ain't that way.
Toughest part I see with the girls, like spring sports, is you have so many distractions during the spring with prom and graduation, and there's so many things that are really important to them that for a guy like me, I'm speaking for myself, but a guy, those kind of things to me, I'm not a –
most guys.
Yeah, I just don't – those things don't get me all fired up about those things. Yeah. And, we used to play baseball on the day of prom and stuff just because we were, going to play, and so I've learned over the years, it's not worth the battle. Just let's go ahead and take off and let them do their thing. And they should enjoy the other things besides the sport. But now, I went to a camp at UT one time, and the weeklies, it was the first year after baseball, and I mentioned that. I said, "What do you see? What's the biggest thing coaching girls?" And they said, "We can tell you at Knoxville." What we believe in is girls don't know, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so if you can ever figure that out, you'll have them play hard for you. So
ball's going to be granted to shortstop for the first out of the inning.
They do score a run.
Yeah. Say Forrest is going to play one run on it. Gives us one out. Runner still at second.
So baseball state championship as a coach, and then 2 softball championships. Does one stick out as the most special? Are you afraid to say that, or your first one?
Man, they're all special. Yeah. As a player, it was just different because you had a different mindset, I think, and then you kind of have some control over that as a player. But when you're a coach, man, the kids have to execute what you teach. You can go out there all day long and show them stuff, but if that kid don't execute on that day and you don't call the right play on that, for them to execute, you can cost yourself a game or a season and so that's tougher because it's like when you're a player, you have control, I guess you could say, whereas a coach, you kind of got to stand there and hope that we make the right plays, the right pitch, get the bunt down like we were talking earlier, just do the, execute the fundamental stuff. And so that's a little bit harder to watch from a coaching standpoint.
So the 2009 championship, from what I remember watching that year, was nobody even challenged you on your way to the championship game as we got a RBI single into right field. But and then of course when you got into the championship game against Decatur County Riverside, that was a battle. But
in 2009 we finished second in the district tournament that year. We didn't even win the district tournament. We got beat by Mount Pleasant and had to go to Richland, and they had a kid that could throw out of this world, and it was just like it just hurt everybody's feelings because we knew that we were going to go face this kid, and we won 1-0. Like I think it was either 8 or 9 innings.
Really?
Yeah, to get to even advance past the region. So we were a run from not even getting to get out of the first round of the region.
Oh goodness!
And then once we passed that game, it was like, man, it just went. The confidence went out of this world. We played about the region game, the sub-state game, and I think it's 3 state tournament games that we really got on fire, hitting the ball, and pitching was great. And all the way up until Decatur Riverside in the championship, and we had to go extra innings to win it. But it was up until that point, it just clicked. But it's what you try to teach the kids all the time, just keep working every inning, every game, because for us, that's kind of what, we were 1 run, I guess you could say, from being completely out, and it wound up winning a tournament after that.
Wow. Well, and of course, Clint Gobble, was he Mr. Baseball that year?
He was TBCA player of the
year. Does it make you feel like a failure as a coach seeing him wearing purple as a coach now?
Well, I got on him and Bryce both the other day because Bryce was at Columbia Central.
Yeah.
And Clint is at Lawrenceburg. And I stay in contact with those guys. Now, those guys that they know you coach them hard, but they know you care about them at the same time. They're always texting me and aggravating me about stuff all the time. We keep up with each other a lot, and you know, that's why I told them. I said, all this stuff that I tried to teach you all these years, and both of you went and put purple and gold on.
Purple and gold on.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. Two different sides of us, and they're both.
Well, you remember, so just like 3 years ago, we had a couple of kids, Grant and Drake both, I think, hit 18 homers that year, which seems just like a ton. But do you think back in those years the bats were different? Wouldn't Clint be hitting that many probably back then?
Yeah, and I think they did. I mean, that 1 year, I think, of course, Jason's a stat guy. He can tell you what somebody hit, you know, in 1982. I can't tell you what we hit last year. Yeah. But now it seems like that year, we were talking about it one time, we had like 40-something home runs that season, because he was talking about last year with those two guys hitting 18 or whatever, that they needed like one more or two more for us to be like tied or past the
really?
record. Yeah, it was crazy because, we had we had probably 5 or 6 guys that could hit them pretty regular, you know.
So it wouldn't be right for me to blame it on the bats being different. Yeah, they were just stud hitters back then.
Yeah, well, you know, early when I started coaching, we were -3 bats, and then we went to the -5s. And I'm assuming, are they still -5s now, I guess?
No, they're -3 BB cores.
Oh.
They went back to -3 BB cores, so they've absolutely killed them. I mean, it's
slowed the bat back down.
Yeah, they've slowed the bat down a lot.
Pitchers got faster and slowed the bat down.
Yes, they drop threes in their BB cores, so it's a lot of times a wood. But you hit the center of a wood bat, it's hotter than.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, it's.
So how often did Logan Harville pitch for you that year?
He would pitch every. I don't know. We had the Huddleston kid, and I mean, we had some guys that was throwing, you know, most of our 1 games, but I would say Logan probably 4 or 5 games that year.
I just remember, you know, all the way through the tournaments, never seen him pitch, and then the championship game, boom, there's Logan.
He had great stuff. I mean, like his curveball and stuff was crazy. He wasn't super fast, but it kind of snuck up on you. He had that infielder arm, you know, or he had a good infield arm, but when he pitched, he had good stuff, and so he was probably the most well-rested, and I think I've told you guys before, me and Jason laid there that night thinking, who are we going to throw in a championship? And, of course, Logan was always one that you knew he's going to run through the brick wall, you know, for you. He's going to do what he could.
And so, that championship game went into extras, right? Was it 8 innings that it went to, and he pitched all 8?
Right.
Wow.
Now, it was funny. One of our kids, the other guys, they coach us, so they tease me all the time about it, but Brandon Kroger wound up getting the base-winning hit, if you remember that. But he had made a play early in the game in left field. I guess I'm embarrassed to say it, but I called him about third base coming in. We had a discussion about it all the way to the dugout.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where, you know, it was going to take him out of the game just for the play that we made. It was a non-hustle play, whatever, you know, and kind of made the decision, no, we're going to stick with him or whatever, and then he winds up getting the hit in the hole. You know, it's like probably the best decision we didn't make, you know, ever. So it was great.
And that, of course, me personally, what was so crazy about that state, that, you know, my wife, Kim, had a brother playing for Decatur County and her son playing for Summertown.
Wow.
That's a Tennessee thing.
And we hit it by him. We hit it by him at second base. That's where he played, was second base.
Yeah. And so that Logan was playing against his uncle,
right,
a younger uncle, in the state championship game. But don't feel too sorry for Riverside, because they went on to win 3 in a row after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Stephen Gant, man, he was the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, he pitched against us his freshman year. And, wow, he was something else, and was originally going to go to Vanderbilt, you know.
Yeah. And you got to, that's back when you got to play the championship game on MTSU's field in 2009, so it was neat that's where you won it as a player, and then you got to win at that same field as a coach. I'm sure that had to be pretty special.
It was, and it's the kids getting to play on those fields, you know, that's something from, you know, just a little small town, you know, Summertown, our kids getting to go, which now with kids playing a lot of travel and stuff, they get a little more experience seeing, you know, some nice facilities and things, but
well, since the bunt won at 40-92, why didn't you try to recreate that in 09 there in extras? You didn't have a squeeze scenario? You could.
Yeah, we didn't have that play.
That wasn't in the book.
Yeah,
because you didn't have Doug Lucius.
Yeah. Oh, Doug. Yeah. I love going back and watching that and watching him point his bat out towards the pitcher like, hey, it's fixing to go about 300 feet, and it goes 3.
And of course, Greg, when all that went down, and as a player, that final inning, you were in the dugout as we got a play he's in, and he's going to score.
Yeah, they do try to get the runner going to second. The runner does score from third.
Yeah. Lots of times Zach makes that play. I don't blame him for trying there with 2 outs.
They're going to plate that run.
But, Greg, you were in the dugout the whole time that was shaking down. So what was going through your mind in 92? Bases loaded, no outs. John Campbell's up there. He bunts it off his foot. And then Doug comes up there. What are you thinking?
Well, you feel like the luck is just not going your way when John didn't get that play right there, because John typically, he's a nice play by Kane.
Yeah, it's going to be a line drive at third base. Kane goes up.
Nice.
Hey, they finally hit one 8'3". I've been saying all year they've hit about 4 this year.
8'4".
Well, they're hitting them like 8'6", and he can reach 8'4" flat-footed, and he's got a 2-inch vertical, so they're just missing us.
That's a tough play. That ball's got a tail on it too. That's a good play.
Yeah, that's got us out of that inning. That inning allowed us to have a really nice long interview with Greg, though.
It did.
So, but yeah, go ahead. What's going through your mind in the dugout watching? Now it's bases loaded with 1 out, and you got Doug at the plate, but you also have your one spot, Larry, on deck. So what's –
Well, you felt like if Doug could get on or move a run in, then you felt like with Larry coming up, Larry was always solid and fast, so he could put a ball down the infield and still beat it out if he had a chance. So you kind of, I guess as a player, you just think keep rolling it over to the next guy, and see what happens.
You're like, please don't grant him to a double play here,
and
Doug.
It kind of caught us off guard because honestly I don't even remember seeing Coach Haddock give him the bunt sign. I don't think I was paying attention to that. We was watching runners and all right, what are we going to do, and getting bats ready for the next batter and things like that, and look up and he bunts, and it's the first thought is like, what? And then what are we doing? And then of course the Wooten kid, at Davidson Academy, he had already been drafted by the Braves. He was going to go play minor league ball, I believe, with the Braves somewhere. And he comes up, and the way he has to lean to get it, he's left-handed, and he just, there's nothing really he could do, and he just flips it, and it just happens to tail over the catcher's head. And of course, at middle, the backstop is 100 feet from home plate, so it was.
So complete this thought. If the same pitch count rules existed then that exist now, what would have happened in '92?
If it happened now?
Yeah, so let's say
what was the pitch count? What was the pitch count?
Y'all didn't have any. Y'all didn't have pitch count limits.
Throw till you can't throw no more. So
I don't ever remember us talking pitch count back in high school.
I'd have probably had to pitch.
Timmy would have had to pitch.
It would have been ugly. I would have probably had to. We had a pitch count. No, we had a pretty good pitching staff.
Well, but that's the thing. So because Greg,
Jason and Greg.
The same thing is you threw the whole first game, and then you had to come back and start the championship. You wouldn't have been able to have done that.
Oh, no, and with 2 days rest, and of course we had, I threw a lot of pitches that game because it was a 7 complete, and I would bet if you went back and counted probably 130, 40 pitches that day. And I remember my arm feeling like jello that last day, but, you was trying to go gut it up. And, we'd already talked. If I could give a few, Robin was going to give a few, and we was going to try to see what we could do because he was sore too.
Robin had one full day's rest when he came in.
So
and he
nobody was 100%.
He said in the documentary, he said that you were telling him, now listen, if you're hurting, I'm going to go back in. Yep. You were willing to go back in even after you've been taken out of that game. You were going to go back in and pitch some more.
Well,
whatever it took.
Yeah, at that time, we knew, of course, we had Jason and Josh had come in and pitched some great innings for us too, and got us through some games and stuff that they didn't,
Well,
so it worked. And back then, you played like 25 games a year. I think.
Yeah.
That's true.
What was it? 24-5 was our record that year. We played 29 games total, and that was probably 10 postseason games.
I guess nothing. The play wasn't made there.
I don't know what it hit.
Where's the daggum ball dog?
I don't know. He was at the softball field earlier.
Was he? Okay.
He's quit coming to see us.
He was waiting on us today when we started taking. He was laying out there on the field.
Now, well, Jason had pitched the day before 10 innings, right? He pitched the end of the was it Johnson City game,
right?
And I think 3 innings there, and then he went the whole game against Davidson Academy, 10 innings in one day. So he definitely couldn't have pitched the next day. I wouldn't have thought.
Right.
Yeah. And I know he said his arm felt like he couldn't feel it.
Well, back then, we didn't know. Now kids are icing and heating and things like that, running a lot. Doing what they need to do. A little more. I just think they're being, I think the pitch count is great, but I think also good coaches are watching those pitch count. I don't know that you need to make a rule for most good high school coaches know, hey, I'm not throwing my guy 125 pitches tonight or whatever. Yeah. They're going to, go by what the kid thinks. And by this time of the year, kids should be able to throw 100 pitches
and the kids are stronger. than what in baseball strength-wise. I mean, when we practiced 2 weeks, we played 25 games. I mean, then it was over. We didn't think baseball. You know, most of us didn't even think nothing about baseball. There was no travel ball. There was no. I mean, you know, you could go play Babe Ruth till you was out of it. But
remember, when we were younger, you'd pitch and they'd say, "Oh, go put a jacket on, keep your arm warm." And now you're going, "Hey, wrap 3 bags of ice around it," you know. And so
rest and do bands and go run 2 miles. And I mean, you know, you put a jacket on and got a bottle of water and you was done. You was good.
I remember in college, you know, we'd ice after a game we pitched, and then you would go run, you know, a mile that night, and then you would next day go to the trainer and they'd take a hydroculator and put that heat on your arm and heat you up next day. Then you go work out. Then you go run another mile. I mean, it was run, and it was something all the time taking care of your arm. And you know, high school you don't have the necessities you do, you know, at college and different levels and stuff. But
especially here at Summertown with us having weight room problems, and you know, I can throw that out there.
Facility problems altogether.
Problems
I mean,
altogether.
It's all together. But
well, so Greg, the other day, Mark and Adam called your game here against Lewis County, and I assume you went back and watched it. But they talked a lot about Haddock and just the kind of coach he was, and you know, all these funny memories. And you know, you heard the documentary. Kenny said, you know, Ricky likes to make baseball fun, and just a lot of goofing off, a lot of horseplay. And well, Greg, let's just say you don't necessarily have the same reputation as a coach. So how?
Totally different.
I don't make it fun at all.
Well, no.
Hey, Casey Blackwood is going to get a bunt down the third baseline and going to beat it out at first base.
Yeah.
Grayson Burleson is going to move all the way to third on it.
Nice
Hey, did y'all see that?
Bunt got
We
down.
got a bunt. Casey got a bunt down, guys. Sorry.
All
I had
right,
to interrupt
so
you, Greg.
Greg,
Well,
you
that was
being
nice.
a school administrator, you got to give him first period off tomorrow because he got a bunt down.
If he don't have a ELC test, he can.
Oh,
I'm not fighting a teacher on that one.
but let's just not necessarily not making it fun, Greg, but just you know, the kind of goofing off that they did probably is not acceptable now on your softball field. But just how did you come out the complete opposite type of coach than the coach you played for in high school? Is it because of what you did? Was your college coach?
Yeah, I think we had fun with Coach Haddock. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's a great coach. He knows X's and O's. He knows the game. Coach Campbell's great. I mean, you know, I wouldn't change anything playing for those guys. I mean, we had a great time, and we played loose all the time. I think that was a big part of it. You know, all of our guys, we went to Lawrenceburg and played Babe Ruth, and I teased earlier about the purple and gold, but I wore purple and gold, you know, playing down there for 6 years from 13 to 18-year-old. We played every year at Babe Ruth, you know, so I learned a lot from those guys down there, playing with a lot of those guys, you know, my age in the, you know, late 80s, early 90s, things like that. You know, used to stand there and watch Chris Kidd and David Weathers and all those guys all played Babe. You know, everybody. That's just where you went to play. But anyway, I think, you know, Glenn Tidwell, who I played for one year, just through the All-Stars and things at Lawrenceburg. I mean, he was played, you know, former Yankees guy and things like that. So I think people like that, fundamentals, he'd always bring out a paper, you know, and teach you a rule, you know, during the practice or whatever, you know, which, you know, kids need to know the, you know, what's a tag up play, what's you know, what's an infield fly, things like that. But I remember him teaching us a lot of stuff like that. And then my college coach was super strict. We were talking about it the other day. You know, if you went out there and your shoes, cleats and stuff wasn't polished before the game, or you had a shirt tail hanging out while you were running, I mean, it was. So I think a little bit of combination of all that. Coach McBee, playing for him with basketball, things like that, being very disciplined. I mean, just a lot of different coach combinations. And I think some of the better coaches it doesn't matter what sport it is, take something from each coach, take their philosophies and try to put it all together for what works. Because you're in a tough situation coaching high school, because you just got to take what you're given every year and try to make the best team out of that, you know, like we talked earlier.
Yeah. Well, what was college baseball like for you? Pitched out.
Ooh, got him.
They got Grayson hung up. They faked the throw down.
He needs to go ahead and go to third. Well, too late.
Yep. They did get Grayson hung up. Yeah. Kaysen was going on that, and the catcher pops and fakes the throw, and Grayson jumps off, and he just got him hung up out here. So that will be the second out. Yeah. So should be 1 ball, 1 strike here on Kane with Kaysen Blackwood standing at second base.
That's a tough out with one, because you get Kane drive a sack fly or some outfielder outside. You get that run in, that 7th run. So that's a tough out right there.
Yeah. But no, college baseball for you? You played at Martin, right?
Yeah, I played at Martin, and played over there. That's right when they went from JUCO to 4-year school. So the first 2 years was JUCO, and then we switched over to NAIA.
Oh, okay.
And played that level for the 3rd and 4th year. And so, but win as a pitcher, wished I'd have win as an infielder because, boy, you start missing those 3 days of sitting out not getting to play when you've played every day, you know, not getting a bat, things like that. So that's tough on a baseball guy if you go as a PO. So,
yeah. So you never hit.
They would put us in if it was 15-0, you know, until you go up there and embarrass yourself because you hadn't took all you've hit is fungos. You've hit 1,000 fungos every day, and then they coach like, hey, Burleson, grab a bat, and you go up there just like you look like you should do on the left side of the plate swinging, you know, horrible. Everybody laugh at you on the bus on the way home because you look terrible.
Oh.
So it was kind of a make fun of the pitchers kind of thing. You know,
it's just hard to imagine that because, again, Grant Burleson here, his senior year, 18 homers, and then I guess he's not taken a swing since.
Wow.
You know, it's just.
He went to Columbia State. He got a few swings. He played a little first, got some swings in practice and stuff. But
you know, you're seeing a little more in softball. These guys are letting the pitchers hit and stuff. Baseball is still a little tough, and they worry more about the injuries. You may have a guy that can still hit, but, man, you just can't take a chance on one of your pitchers getting hurt.
Yeah. Well, in softball, you know, ball's going to be ripped foul down third baseline. Softball, 90% of the time, your pitcher is your best athlete on the field. You know, and in that sport, they're the only one in high school, and even in you roll into college, you're still going to have a lot of your pitchers are some of your better athletes because they're the ones they've worked at it since they was 8. You know, they've had to put the work in every day for. And that's pitching. You can't.
Well, and a great example, Aiden's standing there hitting when his dad, Sampson, was playing for me in 02. We're practicing on Saturday morning before, it had a little shower or whatever. We're practicing on Saturday morning before the Monday of the season, and he snaps an ACL. He's had a really hard swing, and he swings and snaps ACL in the batter's box, and you can hear it pop, and we're throwing BP, and he's like the second to the last batter to finish BP and has to sit out the whole 6 weeks of the season, and we don't get him. And he was my pitcher, catcher kind of guy that first year. He was going to do both for us, and we don't get him. He throws his first game in the district tournament, of the season, his senior year, and went on to play Columbia State and things like that. But it was, and you think, all right, he was your pitcher. In college, he would have never been taking those at bats, chance for an injury. But like you said, he was a great athlete, so he needed to play both sides.
Do you think that injury hurt his college opportunities?
Well, he played at Columbia State, and I think –
there, looking at it, Aiden Perez, another RBI.
Aiden's wearing it out, ain't he?
He is.
Dude, he's hot.
He's hot right now.
He had the tying RBIs, 2-run double to Ty Loretta the other night.
Man, it's nice those guys getting on in front of him, too. He's getting those ribbies right there. So.
He's most definitely hot right now. I think he's got the highest batting average, highest on-base percentage. I was looking at Max Preps earlier. I mean, he's up there. But it don't matter what pitching you throw.
Yeah, and I think both times tonight, I'm not 100% sure. I think he had 2 strikes on him both times, 2-strike hitting right there.
Wow.
So
nice. He works.
Hey, Timmy asked Greg what he thinks about the oven mitts.
The oven mitts.
Oh, gosh.
There you go, Greg. So what do you think? So I call them muffin mitts. I tease everybody about them. Of course, Perez has got one on over here, so everybody puts one on. I got to make fun of their muffin mitts. How do
they used to teach us to get on base and take your batting glove off.
He don't. Oh yeah, he does have one.
And fold it in your hand and hold it like a fist, just so you wouldn't get your fingers mashed as much.
Yeah.
Which I get. It's like I said, everybody's watching, not taking any risk on any injuries, but.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. It gives you probably an extra 3 or 4 inches to get to the base, maybe.
Yeah,
if you slide head first.
It's 4 inches
to dive in. I don't know if it's.
Think about this, but I've never said this on air or anything. But Madison, her junior year, was the only pitcher we had, and district tournament slides in second base, head first, gets stepped on, breaks her hand. Which was her left hand, wasn't her throwing hand. But she. We fought that for the rest with her batting and stuff for the rest of the season. If she'd had a muffin mitt on, we may not have.
True.
But who knows? I mean, I make fun of their muffin mitts and their elbow guards and their shin guards and their.
So
they have to suit up. If they walk, it takes them 10 minutes to get to first base because they got to take everything.
That's all I laugh at. They have the shin guard on, the elbow guard, and they'll step out to swing, and you're like, okay, you're never going to get hit there because you're not.
Where are you
going?
don't
stay in and swing anyway.
Yeah, where are you going?
So the softball players don't wear the oven mitts because I know they're not pickoff moves, but they don't wear them in softball.
I haven't seen any in high school. Well, they may wear them somewhere else, but
Okay. Well, hey, let me ask your opinion, and this is putting you on the spot, so you don't have to answer this either. But like your softball players, when they play other sports, when they play basketball, do you see that as a good thing, or do you prefer?
Oh yeah, I think just being athletic, staying in shape all year, that's a nice.
That's right there.
Nice hit. That's going to get down. It's going to score because everybody was moving. 3-2, 2 outs. That's going to score 2.
Yep, nice.
Nice job right there by Jackson
Beautiful.
Bennett. Hits that ball out into the right center field.
He was hitting against Loretta the other night too.
Boy, if you ever get them all to realize hitting that ball to right center field.
Backside.
That's
I had the conversation with Grayson and Kane, and told them the other night. I said, listen, when are y'all the best? When are y'all the best hitters you are? And they said, when we're hitting middle away.
Yep.
I said, so why do you stop? Why? I mean, you know that as a hitter. Why do you stop doing it?
RBIs and triples right there.
Yes. I mean, that's, lead the team in RBIs and doubles.
Well, and most of the time these guys now, especially if you don't have really good stuff, you're staying about 80% of your pitches are on, middle away anyway.
Yes.
So that's what you're seeing most of the time.
Yes.
If you'll take that ball that away, those.
And again, all this with 2 outs since Grayson was picked off. Who's the new pitcher
number
here?
24, which is K. Fuller. I'll have to look. Kaysen Fuller.
24 is Kaysen Fuller.
Was playing third base. Is coming to pitch here for Forrest. They can't hear us.
Nobody's commented that.
So y'all deleted me on purpose,
Will has done this whole interview.
Listen.
Can you hear us?
Let's see.
Can you hear us?
I
I think you sound fine, Greg. Hey, we done it. Me and Will, and I'm gonna bring it up because Will probably ain't told nobody. We set up Central the other night and we got Bryce up there.
I told him.
And we done about a 30-minute interview with Bryce. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was Bryce done a great job with it. And I mean, we had some questions, and he fell right in there, and enjoyable. We laughed a little bit, and talked about you some, and
compared with Jason and Greg.
And Jason, and and playing and
I
stuff
need to
like
hear
that. Well, we get done. We didn't get none of it. Yeah,
I forgot. There's this little switch where you plug the soundboard into the computer. Yeah. I just totally forgot to do that.
It wasn't plugged up, so we got zero. We didn't get nothing. I'm like, look,
that's hilarious.
Kaysen Fuller is who's coming in the pitch. Yeah, it's a K, not a S or not a C.
Oh, well, no wonder I'm not seeing.
But
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's K. So.
Yeah, I really wish you could have heard that interview. It was probably one of the best ones we've ever done. I mean,
very, very humble.
Yeah,
he was very humble about his baseball stuff.
Gosh, he's a workhorse, though. He come here in 8th grade and just moved right on into middle infield, and man, he was so quick. I mean, you knew if he could put the ball in play, and he was going to. He's going to throw right-handed, bat left, and gosh, he was really a switch hitter when he got here. But we liked him so much on left, we just tried to keep him on the left side.
To continue the thought, though, like your softball players, you do like them playing other sports and basketball or
oh yeah, our coaches
volleyball.
Are really good here about supporting each other on playing other sports. I mean, you leave them alone during their season, let them do their thing, and then when it comes your time, bring them on over. But kids still, they do things in the off season that won't get an injury or whatever. They can go take some cuts off a tee or something like that, even during the basketball season. Or some of our kids right now. Just like Hannah, she still goes to basketball first block and takes some shots and stuff like that in the morning. So, even every day of the week. So, we definitely encourage them to keep going with that sport. We got kids play volleyball and everything. So,
it keeps them in shape. I mean, it's in most of your colleges, you talk to college recruiters and stuff, and they'll tell you they're looking for that kid that'll go out there and because it's a work ethic thing. They're looking for a kid that plays multiple sports.
What I hear out of most of those college guys now, the college coaches, is they want an athlete and they want somebody who's coachable.
Coachable.
Yeah. If that kid's coachable, can I talk to him? Can I criticize him? Can I do things that, will make him, work harder and him understand we're trying to make him better? That's who I want, and I want a kid who's athletic.
So the criticism. So do you see it works better with the boys or girls over your years?
Ooh. It works both. I mean, I think girls try to please. I think girls want to make sure that they're going to do something because they don't want you to be mad at them. I think it's like they're worried that you're mad at them, and you try to tell them, say, hey, I'm not mad at you. I might be mad at what you did.
Yeah.
We may have not executed, but I'll never be mad at you or dislike, for anything, nothing like that. But boys are kind of they're going to show you, hey, I'll run through this wall to prove you wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, you get on to them for maybe not sliding or something like that. Well, they'll go slide at all three bases,
bases,
just to show you.
Yeah, just to be a smart. Like they're trying to be a smart.
I'll show you I can slide.
I will say this. You first coming over to softball, Madison, that girl of mine was just coming in there, and she struggled with it a little bit. I mean, with you, but I'd coached her hard over the years, and you knew that. So I mean, you coached her the same way. I felt like when they was. You had a few girls quit that me and you discussed. I ain't gonna say no names. That why? Because I never pushed them that hard, and then but you had some that you pushed the limits. But you can go back and ask her right now. That's probably the highlight of her 4 years in high school was actually getting to play softball for you, Greg. It was she really enjoyed it. She she'd come home mad. I ain't gonna say she didn't because she'd come home furious, But it was one of them mads that she'd come home and set a tee up and go, Greg said this, I've got to fix this, and she would try, and like you said, she's trying to please you and make sure that it looked better, looked different, maybe not better, but it looked different the next day.
That's what I always try to tell them. Don't try to please me. Do it for yourself. Try to win it for the team.
Yes.
You're not trying to impress me at all. It doesn't. But go out there and work hard because you want to win or you want to be the best player on the field today. Those kind of things.
Well, I feel like you give them a chance at that. Every one of them, every team.
We've got really good kids, and we're fortunate. Especially the league has dropped off a little bit out here with our numbers, I guess. But I mean, overall, back, when I got out of college, we, me and a lot of these guys that had kids come up, we were all coaching little league ball out there. That's kind of where we had those kids to start with from the time they were 5, and just when I come to high school, I got those same kids again that I coached in little league, and so that really worked out that I had a lot of those kids when they were 8, 9, 10 years old, and then when I got to high school, I got them again, middle school and high school, fortunately. So I had them for 8 or 9 years, and then with softball, it was kind of the same way where my daughters started playing 6, 7, 8-year-old ball. I coached them all the way through till they were, so a lot of those, the boys and girls both worked out for me that I had them, probably 10 years through that time.
Ball's going to be fighting in center field.
Had great parents along the way that really pushed their kids, and it was like, hey, if you're not going to coach my kid hard, I just assume I'm not, we want them to be pushed hard. So Summertown's been, and everywhere you go they say that. They say, man, y'all have kids that play hard and they're aggressive, and, and that's just contribution to the parents coaching them hard and just.
Do you miss being able to pull up the 8th graders?
Yes, definitely.
There's probably a 1 or 2 that you could have used this year.
Well, I mean, I like to let them play through April or, the first part of April. I thought we had a lot of success over the years, and not necessarily for them to come up and start, but them to get playing time with the high school, practices and things like that. Nice play.
Yeah. Well, I see Jackson Bennett and Case and Blackwood, I think, are better today because they were called up. They were the last group to get to do that. Well, no, I guess last year's group was the last to get to do it. But, I mean, they're better now because they got to come up from middle school and play those last few weeks, and they helped us a lot the 8th grade year.
Well, the 2018 team that we won with the girls, Katie Beth Gallagher was 8th grade catcher, and then we had Kaylee and Jenna and Haley, 3 freshman starters, and Ansel was a sophomore. I mean, we were, you tell me now, man, we got to carry some 8th and 9th graders to go win a state. I never really thought about it because like I said, we coached those kids so long. Ooh, short hop.
Yeah, ball short hop right there.
Taking a few steps.
Looked like he was going to stay up, didn't he?
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to. I think he felt like he was fixing to catch it.
Looked like it.
And it just dove on him.
But yeah, I like, and it's real. The middle school tournament that they go to now is I don't know the right word to say about it. You don't know. Teams can kind of choose whether they want to go play in it or not, and it's kind of unorganized, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll just say more unorganized than what I'd like it to be. I'm like things to know what we're doing.
What's going on?
6 months from now, I want to know what I'm doing on Monday. Whatever, and it's not like that with that league.
Remember, Greg was in a scenario 3 years ago where his middle school team he was coaching back then was in this their state championship, and this high school team was here in the sub-state. Is that right?
Yeah. We had to play on a Friday, and so I had Aniston helping me a little bit. And so she had just happened to finish her college game. She was at Columbia State at the time, so they just finished, and I had her, helping me when she could come home. And so her and my wife and a couple of them went to the middle school game and get us through the Friday night game. And we win the sub-state game here and get to go to state, and then went back on Saturday and we won the state with the middle school. Yeah. I think that was the first middle school first time they'd had the state tournament that year. And then we got it, and then 3 or 4 days later won the high school state on the same time. So that was pretty nice 5 or 6 days right there.
It was
for the girls.
And of course that day you won the sub-state here, Grant over here in this field through a complete game, perfect game. So that was that was a fun time. Anything else y'all want to drill Greg on? I feel like we're just badgering him to death here.
Well, I feel like I'm cutting you out of talking about the game.
No,
He just hanging out talking.
No,
so. You know better than get me talking, so, especially ball.
No, this has been a nice surprise. I'm kind of glad y'all didn't play Loretta now, Greg.
I'm very glad to have you for sure.
It was frustrating because we got to about Lawrenceburg, and then there was only one cell in the whole state where it was raining, and it was right on their field,
Yeah.
And so,
and Kevin Wright for X Sports had just pulled in, and he saw the field. It was standing, water is everywhere, standing water everywhere. So
Coach Darwin had called me, and he's like, man, he said, it just come a flood here. He said, we might could wait a minute, but he said there's another one on the way, kind of that thing. And it was kind of frustrating even on the way back. And then we drive back, and wife says, hey, let's stop and get some strawberries for the Amish. Hey, sure, we'll do that. And then we pull up at 2 different places, and they're out. So it was just like one of those evenings, can't get anything done.
Didn't get to play ball and didn't get no strawberries.
Yeah, no strawberries either.
Of course, now, do you have on your resume now that you've got experience as an assistant football coach?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was bus driver / press box cameraman. They won't let me talk to the boys, but they don't coach any kid, but go drive the bus and go sit upstairs.
Yeah. Whenever we put Greg's final accomplishments together, we got to make sure we don't leave out assistant football coach. The year they did that. Oh, well, anything else y'all want to ask Greg?
I think Greg's done a great job.
We're tired of me talking.
Well, no, not at all. I just feel like we haven't.
You come back anytime.
We haven't given you a break in 3 innings.
Yeah.
So
I hope we're playing ball and I don't have to talk, to be honest with you.
From now on, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wish your team luck and you luck. I think you've got a chance. What's on the other side? I will ask you this. What do you see out of our district?
Well, obviously,
Forrest
the 4 teams, and then the other district is going to probably be Forrest and Community. It looks like they're both playing well right now. And then after that, you'll have Cheatham County, Waverly. Yeah. There's some teams over there. It's pretty well. So, luckily, we don't have to – if we can make it that far, don't have to see Westview again, thank goodness. But everybody else is – there's 2 or 3 in each district that are really strong this time.
So Waverly would be a sub-state?
Waverly and Cheatham County. We saw Cheatham at
region last year.
And we saw them – we had a game with them at Murfreesboro in Riverdale night that started raining on us.
Okay.
And we were in a game with them.
So you have saw them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, they're good.
Those Waverly players that were so good last year, they're still there.
Yep, they're back.
Because they beat Westview to send them here.
I was thinking, I looked today, like 18-5 or something, and they play a lot of games. He keeps them playing all the time. They're solid.
So winning the region would be very important. So you're not traveling to Waverly then for sub-state.
Oh yeah, some years you might think, well, either one, whichever one we get, because you never know. Like last year, I felt like Waverly maybe upset Westview, and Waverly come here. Westview come here. I'm sorry, and but now both of them were good. Both of them wound up going to state and making a Final Four run.
And that pitcher for Westview still there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was tough. I remember when I saw her pitch that first pitch, I'm like, we have not seen that here this year.
Oh, yeah. She was, you try to go to a lot of these tournaments to see some better pitching and stuff, but she had the year before, Sims girl is her name, and the year before we hit her for a couple of runs and beat her, but then last year she had our number. It's just how different it is. Safe
at first on a bunt. Ryder gets another bunt down. Third baseman's going to throw it in the right field, trying to get to second. He does.
The 2 bad throws helped us out there. But, hey, all from getting the bunt down, though.
Yeah.
What about Forrest going to red this time? Is that
Yeah,
have
I
they
don't
done
know.
that before? Or is that just? I know the softball had red uniforms.
Yeah, I don't
this
know
year.
where that come from.
That's the
When
first
I
time
was
I
kinda-
noticed that. Well, I
You
thought
know, we dropped our red that we had there for a time. Did Les Trotter do away with the red?
Or navy blue and red. We're actually,
Yeah.
we're
'cause
actually navy blue and
It's
red.
navy blue and red now. It's not.
Early 90s and
It's gone.
Yeah, because I had the red, and then I think the year after I was here, they still wore red. And I think Les Trotter came here in '99 or so, and that was.
Yep. I helped him in 2000. We had that team with Klein Hodge and those guys. You know, went to state tournament in 2000, and we had still red in those uniforms then.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, that team that was quite a team. Yeah, Ben Hine and Long. I can't. But I think
That was awesome. I'll never forget me and Coach Trotter. We sit back and watch film on that. And we were playing. Who was it? It wasn't Adamsville. It was team. West Tennessee team. Just went blank on it. But anyway, they had a kid named Trey Pearson. And we had watched that team, and we were like, hey, we got a chance to win this thing. That dude puts up about 40 on us, and, I mean, they hammer us up there in the state tournament.
First game.
We had watched. I said, all right, no more film watching for us. We're terrible. Like, we thought we had a game plan. Those guys were good.
But I said that 2000 Summertown team, I think, was basketball is one of the more entertaining teams to watch. That I can remember. I don't know why I'm drawing blank on their names. I see their faces.
You knew it was going to be entertaining when we ran out of the, MTSU, you run out of the tunnel, to run out on the court.
Yeah.
And the cheerleaders had a white paper banner stretched across. And when we ran through it, it didn't break.
Oh, no.
And we had a couple of kids step on it and face plant, like slide out. First thing, and Coach, of course, Coach Trotter, he's a little animated sometimes. And he's like, he makes a comment first thing, and I was like, oh, no, here we go. But I'll never forget that. We run out, and it was like, boom, right on the floor. It's like, oh, no, we can't even run on the floor right. It's going to be trouble. But it was a
we
great
can't even break
team.
paper.
Yeah, they were a great team. Like, they were good kids. Like, they worked hard. It was a good team.
Another pitch out.
They're trying to backpick Ryder at second.
I'll tell you, Timmy, one thing I want to make top priority, since I always come to you with things that need to be done around this field, we need to have the 3 Mr. Baseball winners signs put up here somewhere.
That's a good idea.
We need to have, Greg, Grant, and Clint some signs. Seeing those up at Loretta, they're huge.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that happen here.
Keegan McCatchy's going to get a bunt down.
What is
Pitcher's gonna
going
have
on?
to field it. Does get to out at first, but he does move the runner up. Got Ryder Blackwood moved over to third base.
Well, always remember the
Y'all
Forrest
have
game.
lied because y'all said we couldn't bunt. And I've seen us bunt great tonight. Like,
Greg, listen, we've got more bunts down tonight than we have in 40 games.
I try to go home and watch every game, and we're bunting it like everything tonight.
Yeah.
This will be the game, the Forrest game,
So
where we
you
finally
do try
got to
you
bunt.
do try to go home and listen to it?
Oh, I watch every game. I cut the volume down, but I watch
Okay,
it.
I was
No,
just checking. I was making
no,
sure.
I'm just kidding.
I was just making sure.
No.
It's going to bring up Matthew Luffman. One out.
If he
runner
bunts,
third.
I'm just go ahead and do a squeeze here.
Safety squeeze.
I was disappointed that Greg didn't come play in that alumni game here a year ago. Timmy, I don't guess you played either.
No, I was.
You were racing.
We
But we had an alumni.
yeah, we
even
was
Jason got out here.
Yeah, we was out of town.
I think Anderson had a game that day or something we was trying to watch.
Sound like an excuse.
Yeah, something.
You just
That, and I knew I wouldn't walk for like a month after that.
Well, that's what Jason hit. He put the ball in play, but he didn't even
He can
try
fly,
running.
can't he? He can run like a deer, too. He's like, he's so graceful.
Do you ever remember him being able to run?
Oh, no.
Okay.
He thinks he can, though. If you talk to him, like,
yeah.
he talked about his speed back in the day, and I'm like, you did not have any speed.
Yeah, I never remember him having any speed. I mean, I don't.
Well, so Greg, you've got to watch some of your old Little League games.
Oh, no. I was just fixing to say that's been the most embarrassing thing ever.
Watching
Because
yourself play Little League.
Even a couple of years ago, we were at my mom's, dad's for Christmas, and me and Jason and Adam were sitting there, and we got into discussion with all the kids because they talk about how great they are all the time. We got to talking about when we played in school, y'all couldn't do this, that, and the other. So my mom pulls out like some old VCR tapes, from the
Lord.
day. And she pulls them out, and I'm like, look, y'all sit here and watch this. And this is why, when we was Little League, we did this and other. Man, about 5 minutes in, me and Jason was like, take those videos out. Like, we looked horrible. Like, We was terrible.
We played like that?
Yeah, I was like, man, I just don't remember us being
that bad. Looking that goofy.
Yeah, you try to think now, like these kids, like you trying to correct your own kid and stuff. Like you can't throw, you can't hit, you can't do this. You look back and go, hey, they're 10 times better than we were when it. They all. I mean, it was bad.
Well, I think out of all of Jason's kids, Grayson reminds me more of him.
Oh yeah.
In the way he carries himself, his running, he reminds me more of Jason. Watching Jason play compared to him.
Oh yeah, 'cause we give Jason a rough time because we used to play in the yard. All the neighborhood where we lived, it was great as a kid because you'd have like 10 or 12. Everybody in our neighborhood was boys about our age, and so they would come up to our house and it'd be wiffle ball and baseball in the mornings, basketball at night or something. We'd walk to the Little League Park and play during time. But I mean, we were always doing something. But still today, Jason has never made a foul. He's never, he made a turnover. He's never did, It's always,
he never done that.
We always laughed about that. You'd be playing, and he'd be like, I didn't foul. Well, I just ain't playing anymore.
Yeah, I just ain't playing anymore. Oh,
rough time. But
it's funny. That ball's going to be hit in the center field pretty well. Center fielder's going back.
Got turned.
Don't get there. Got turned the wrong way. Grayson's going to get it over his head for a double and get another RBI here today.
Good to see.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to have some battles back in the day with the.
Oh yeah.
But we used to live at the ball. I mean, we used to stay outside all day.
I mean, we was outside over there. Wasn't nobody left you in your house. Over there, which the Baileys lived over there. I stayed over there with Aaron a lot. Jason a lot. But watching these videos, these basketball games, he's sending me. Adam was on that team.
Oh yeah.
So Adam, in that game, that new prospect game, I don't know if you watched it all, but I kind of get tied up. You didn't play yet, but I kind of get mad at this guy, and the ref kind of talks to me, and Mike Kilburn pulls me out, and you can see him on the sidelines giving me a chew. And I never sit down. I mean, I walk over. I'm out for a minute and a half, and Mike is in my face for a minute and a half. And I can probably say some things that he said, but it wouldn't be worthy on the air. I couldn't say it on here. But Adam come in. And to see Adam on the floor at that time and to see Adam now is unreal, because Coach Jim McBee, he called him Log.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember, he had nicknames for everybody.
Yeah.
And Adam was Log. And it was McBee used to tell us, we can lay you down and roll you down the floor faster than you can run, Log. But it's funny seeing him, just knowing and going back and seeing that stuff. And
Adam – I hope I remember, and I don't have him mixed up with someone else.
Ball's going to be ripped in the center field for everybody to see it. Grayson Burton's going to score. The throw is coming. It's offline.
Yeah, if it had been a good throw,
it would have been close. But Grayson's going to score on that RBI single by.
I think what I remember about Adam though, he slimmed down in high school, and but when I remember watching when he ran the bases, he wasn't very speedy. What I remember.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I don't think anybody in our family's been blessed with speed.
Yeah, I can say
sure.
you can say what you want to. Greg was the fastest Burleson there was.
Was he?
Yes.
And that's not saying much.
That's
pretty bad.
Skane Kennett's going to step in here with 2 outs and a runner standing at second.
We still have the mute buttons ready over there, Joe.
Well, he's fixing to walk off right here, watch this.
Well, that would be something if Greg called it.
Did you say that, Greg? Go ahead and say it, Greg. I won't say it. You say it.
We're looking for a 2-run walk-off right here.
That would be amazing.
Swings through that first pitch for a strike.
The wind has died down.
You're not making it better, Greg.
He's got to time him up a little bit first.
Goes down 0-2.
Kane got him one against LCHS. Greg, what'd you think of that game?
Man, that was something else, wasn't it?
The wind was really blowing out that day, and there was homers galore that day.
We used to practice on that field when I was with Babe Ruth. That's where we'd practice a lot. 16, 18-year-old ball.
I don't think that's going to walk it off.
Mile high in the center field. Center fielder's coming on, makes the play. Play the third out inning. They'll swap them up.
That ball always carries at that field. It seemed like we always loved practicing over there because it seemed like it was always I think our senior year we played there, they hit 3 home runs off of us.
We are going to have a pitching change, Will. If you want to swap it up, it's going to be Huckabee.
Huckabee is all right. Hey, let's ask Greg about this video here too.
Oh Lord, why do you keep doing this?
Will, you like to torture everybody.
Well, it's me. It ain't nobody but me. He's.
So, what do you think went on this day? Every one of y'all had on your jersey that day. Like here's Mr. The Perry kid. He,
Jamie.
you had your pants. Brent said y'all even wore your cleats that day. You were just in complete, you're dressed for
I had
ball
everything
game.
on with my shirt.
Did you change or did
but
you?
Timmy,
Yes,
Timmy comes
There
up
he
here in a pink shirt, like he didn't get the memo that day or
That's
something.
sweet though, ain't it?
It is.
Pink T-shirt.
Huh?
Hey, but look at the hats. I mean, that picture.
Yeah,
if you
the
look
old
at that,
flat Brent.
well,
Look at 'em.
if you remember what happened, we won the state, and then we all signed each other's
Hats.
Everybody
Yes.
signed the hats, and then when they got ready to do the team picture, they wanted to do a picture at the bank, and so Coach Haddock had to go buy a
Hats.
new set of hats.
Oh, really?
Gosh, they were like buckets
Yes.
on our head, like they had never been worn. And the kids now look at the picture up in
they're
the
like, "Where's
lobby there, and they're like, "What was wrong with y'all's hats?
Hats.
Y'all not know how to wear a hat?" And it was like, all right, they was 1 day old, and they were.
He handed them out that day.
They
He
were-
walked up and handed them out of the box.
We put them on that old flat bill, before flat bill was popular, and they was horrible, but they looked like big old buckets on our head. But that's kind of the reason we had those hats. We always laugh about those other hats. All the players signed each other's hat, just as something to have, I guess, But
Still have mine. My ring, Mama's house guy, I kept in her jewelry box down there and never touched it. And it got stolen. We never got it back. It's one of the things we never got back.
you remember taking that sign, them taking that TWSAA sign, they had to carry it back.
Gary got it. Gary Kennett cut it down and wrote it up, brought it home and give it to Rick. And
They had
and then they
it.
called and Rick had to carry it back.
Somebody had to go all the way back to Murfreesboro and carry
They had to get the
TWSAA
sign back up there. They wanted to know where the sign went. Gary Wayne Kinnick had cut it down and brought it home because he thought we deserved it.
Now, Greg, are you the one that got rid of the dip in left field here? As the ball's
Hit into right center field. It's going to be at least
He's-
a double.
He can fly, too.
This
He
kid
can.
can roll. He's going to hold up there, too.
Yeah, he's quick. But I kept hearing about that dip in left field. Timmy says he's got a picture of himself where you can only see like
From the knees up,
From
probably.
the knees up.
Yeah.
It's
We come in, and Coach True was principal at the time, and we were redoing the field, and we had talked to a guy about bringing in some topsoil, and we had, like I said, it was a 12-inch drop, so we had to bring in enough dirt just to crown the infield with the pitcher's mound to get a somewhat of a crown because it was such a big drop-off. Well, then we got in left field, and we was like, Coach True was like, well, how many loads of dirt you need? Because, we were poor back then, too, with funding, so – I'm like, probably 3 or 4 dump truck loads. Well, after about the 16th dump truck load, I mean, that's no lie. We put from center fielder to where the left field gate is down there, we had like 16 loads. It would be brought in and we'd level it up, and it just still not. So, yeah, we had
just around there.
So we had a lot of dirt brought in that.
Well, and you had to play behind it. You couldn't play on it because if one was hit over, you had to go backwards off of it. You'd fall down. It was steep enough.
Was it Shane Roden maybe that was playing there one day? And I was trying to think of who was playing left field, but they had went back to make a catch over there. And when they went back, they dropped off, and the ball would have hit them right in the glove. But when they took that step, it just went right over top of their glove.
Right over the top of their head.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly who it was.
I
but
believe that was
I always used to laugh at that. So. But, now it's totally different. I heard Murray County out. I don't know 100% sure, but I heard they're fixing to turf every one of their baseball and softball fields.
It just makes me want to.
I reckon it's one field. It's some kind of something they've cashed in, and they've got the money, so they're going to start. Every school's going to get a turf field. So like Mount Pleasant's getting football done.
What I read online the other day is Mount Pleasant's getting baseball, softball, and football done.
I think so.
Really?
Yep.
They're going to get all 3 done.
Yep.
Yeah. So. But some of your schools, like your Hampshire school and stuff like that, are opting out of the turf and going facilities. So they're building the indoor facilities.
So they can choose. They get a certain
they get
pot of money maybe or something and can choose what they want.
Which if they're getting all 3 at Mount Pleasant, then that's
so whatever they did to come up with that money, I would love for that to happen here.
I think they went and got a bond at the bank, I think, or something is what I had heard, but I'm not 100% sure.
But you're talking about a baseball field. Just the infield here is, which I've done numbers on it and called and checked. The infield, to turf this infield here is about $280,000.
But now,
that's what it would cost.
This may be a stupid question, Greg, but if given the choice, if money was no issue at all, was the same, do you want a turf field?
we played on it last year at Brentwood in that tournament, and my girls hated it. Of course, that was a one-time game now, but we were talking today because we're fixing to start construction on our football fields over behind the elementary school. So I think the next board meeting, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think they're supposed to at least have the vote to go ahead and be ready to start on that behind elementary school. But
great.
We were talking about that the other day about the dirt work and the cost of turf compared to sod. And when you sod and bring in your sprinkler system, are you talking about the paint that you have to paint every game, mowing, paying for mowing and all that? It does the condition of the field, having to build a practice field because you don't want to play on your game field. Is the cost of bringing in turf, would that what would the cost of building a practice field? What's the cost of doing all that other work?
Whatever the amount is that it's more for turf, I can't imagine it being very long before you would make that up.
Right. And that's what we was talking about. It's like, all right, how much paint would you buy? Because I think it's like 11 to 15-year guarantee before you really have to do any maintenance to it is what I was told the other day, because we were having this discussion at lunch, I guess a couple of days ago. And we were looking at some of the cost of it. And I think they had told us that, like Murray County, the dirt work, and again, I may be just gossip, but I was thinking dirt work and turf and everything was like $10 a square foot, where maybe if you already got the dirt work, the turf itself was $5 to $6 a square foot, depending on how you get it striped or how much you put down and stuff like that. So, but we were trying to figure out, okay, how much would you put on a football field, and would it be feasible to, would it be cost effective that over time, like I said, mowing and painting and all the other stuff and not having any, maintenance really on it for those number of years, not having to have a separate practice field and things like that. Would it be, for us, using the same field for middle and high school, we're having to paint 2 nights a week and, things like that. So would it be, if it's extra couple of $100,000 or whatever, I don't know what exact number. We didn't get that detail.
If it rains all day, and then he's like, but it stops an hour before game time, you can still play?
Yeah, you're playing. Yeah. And the only thing that I've heard negative is injuries, like ankles and things like that. Doesn't give like the turf and the dirt. And a lot of people that, just in conversation with some of the college people who's had them a few years now, are starting to kind of come back and say, we love the maintenance side of it, but is the injuries and the true hops and things like that is good as it is with regular sod and dirt?
But, you're going to get the same playing surface all the time with turf. It's, so you don't get that, everybody, I've always been, there's no such thing as a bad hop. Well, it's good for somebody.
Yeah.
If I'm batting and I hit it and it bounces over your head, that's a good hop.
That's a good hop for him.
So, and I tell Kane all the time, he said, "Dude, that thing jumped all over me over at third. That's a bad hop." I said, "No, it's not, son. So knock it down with your eyeball, whatever you got to do." But, it's, and you do get that on dirt, which it helps you or hurts you, whatever. To where turf, you don't. I think players play a little more relaxed. And knowing Kane, watching him, the travel ball we've done, and, he's played on a lot of turf. But now he's the same way. Yes, it was. Big strikeout right there.
They loaded no outs. We kind of talked our way into letting them load it up.
Yeah, a situation here. Yes.
So, Greg, if someone showed up tomorrow and said, "Here's so many $1 million. I want a new gym here," where would you put it?
Would we be able to buy more land, or we got?
Your
current campus that we have.
Your gym has to be with your school. You can't have a remote gym like you could a remote football field. Your gym would have to be here.
Well,
right?
Personally, without tearing down any other facilities like baseball or anything like that for parking, I would love for it to be on the west side of the gym there that connects over to like the band room, the band hallway.
Oh, okay.
That area there, and turn it perpendicular to what we have now and let it connect to that hallway. So when you come down the band hall, you could come in one end of the gym. If you left our current gym on the end zone there, you would walk into the other end of the gym. And so like for, say, volleyball tournaments or basketball camps and things.
Ball's hit well in the left field.
Oh, nice
Perez
catch.
Goes back, makes the play. They are going to score one more run on it. That's a good play by Perez out there going back on that ball. Yeah. Makes the score 11-4 Summertown.
I'll trade the out for the run. Definitely.
Sure.
So that's interesting. I never thought of that. I was thinking, move the baseball field and put a gym here or something.
Well, I know there's always, we've always throw out ideas of things that we'd love to see, I guess, but and probably for the size of it. But then if you could say that you could go build your baseball and softball field over there where they're talking about doing the football field on that camp and just making a sports facility over there, that would be a nice thing to do and have all your field house, concessions, all that do, like one main area. But if you had to use currently what you have just for, I don't know, because when you think of that stuff too, you have to think about school safety and stuff. So a kid not walking out of class outside this day and time, you'd want them to stay inside a building. So if you had that hallway, band could carry their instruments in there to play. When we got ball games at night, they'd be right there by their band room. Gym would be back to back. If you had games and practices and things going on, coaches being able to monitor both facilities, things like that.
Ball's going to be hit well into the right center field gap. Keegan McCaffrey comes over and makes a diving play.
He caught it?
Nice.
Yeah, he caught it. Then flipped it up out of his glove like, look what I got.
Two nice plays.
That was big,
Two really good plays right there to get us out of that. So
and I like to see that because, again, defense has been a problem in the past previous weeks.
Bases loaded, no outs, so worked out with just one run. So
that's tough to do. So you was talking, the meeting, I had heard that they, had appropriated the money for the football and stuff, but that's all they're doing over there right now, right? I mean, we're talking, but it is set up for the future for a softball field, baseball field. Added to it.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
There'll be room there somewhere if the money's ever there for it.
I think originally it was set up to do the whole school, entire school with sports facilities over there, and then when they decided not to do that, then probably the most feasible place, I guess, for football would be attached, since we already have that land there, is to go ahead and do that and tie into current electric and water and things that you have.
So what do they do with parking over there? I mean, are they going to go ahead and do the parking? I mean, what?
You'll enter, the last print I saw was you'll enter by the playground there at the elementary school where the new entrance is there.
Won't be coming off Brace Road.
Right. And so you'll come in from that area, and the football field's set just right behind that playground. And then it will leave for if you ever needed existing football or baseball, softball, tennis courts, practice fields, anything to go towards Brace Road and just build in steps, I guess, back towards Brace Road. And hey, you may have one day that you want to build a school actually, and so that would give you room to go back towards Brace Road or North Brace for that existing. So they're trying to not just build it just right in the middle of the property. So it, to start on one end and work your way back if you need to eventually for growth, because obviously we're growing in this area. It seems like if the housing market picks back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Greg, you don't own the store anymore?
We do not.
Do you miss it?
I love the people out there. I love. I mean, you can obviously tell I like to talk, obviously. So, but I like the social part of it, and we had a good experience with it. But it's very, very time consuming running that. It's not a good experience when you're trying to coach and teach and do all these other things. But
all right, so they're getting on to somebody in the.
Keegan he's in the hole. He had come out and got on the dugout. They're on to him been out on the field there. Perez is going to come up. Going to drive one into the left center field.
It's down.
It did get down. Good, another hit. That ball's hit in
the
left center field. Center fielder tried to make a good play on it.
You hot, ain't it?
Yeah.
Look, I don't care what you throw up there. He hits it. It don't make no difference. You can throw it 94 and he hits it. You can throw it 65 and he hits it right now. I hope it stays that way for the rest of the season.
No better feeling than when you're hitting like that, you know it.
Elijah's in whose spot? Okay.
Hitting for Jackson.
You feel like they could throw a BB up there and you could hit it when he's feeling it the way he is right now.
Elijah squares the bunt. He fouled off.
Heard you guys mention that the other night about taking off before the bunt's down in one of our games.
Yes.
We have a huge problem with that.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody wants to, and he did right there. He kind of started his feet before the bunt gets down. It's just bunt it and then.
Well, I mean, this is a sack. He's in a sack bunt situation.
So there's no need to hurry. Yeah.
No. Get the bunt down.
Take the out to move the runner.
Absolutely. So So your softball team, Greg, I ain't seen the power that you're used to having over the last 3 years. You know,
we're streaky right now, but yeah, we're not. We have some base hitters when we're on, I guess, but bad pitch away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not even in practice. I mean, we're just not one of those just going to crank it, just sit up there and hit a lot of balls out.
Yeah, our baseball team ain't either.
Well, we've hit more this year than the previous 2 years.
Drake Blackwood come up here the other night and spent 30 minutes hitting. He hit more home runs than we've hit all year in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
In practice.
That was just a fun team to watch that year in 21, baseball and softball.
Well, that's what we were laughing the other day because
ball's going to be grounded over into the 5-6 hole. Shortstop bobbles it, tries to throw him out at first.
Now the runner stays at second.
Yes.
You know how fun it is to try to get up there and hit sometimes. And a few years ago when Maddie and Reagan, Hannah and them were playing, Ray gets up there and Ray was hitting them out there, across the parking lot where softball girls park. She just launched them, And so one day we were practicing and grabbed a bat, and I thought me and her was going to get up there and just home run contest each other. And about the second one, I hit off of one of the kids' cars out there, and I was like, all right, we're done. We're just quit. Whatever. I said, well, she hit some 500 out of here and never hit a car. And I hit she'd hit them in between. They'd bounce between and all that stuff. One bounced right off the top. And I was like, all right, we're done. But those bats, nice hit.
Zach Staggs going to hit a laser down the third baseline for a double. He's going to score Perez. He is sending Mason Neal.
Be a play.
Going to be a play at the plate. He does beat it.
Wow.
Summertown tacks on 2 more, makes it 13-4. Yeah, the shortstop cut that off, and he took a couple of crow hops. That's a good piece of hitting right there by Zach. Bring up Ryder Blackwood.
So I know that player safety would be a concern, but I would love to see, Olivia Woods or even Claire Woods come back and pitch to our guys.
These baseball guys?
Yes.
Oh, make them look stupid.
But I know. Is there a way we would put football pads on the pitcher or something and just?
You ain't got to worry about her getting hit. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I want to see it. I want to stream it. I just think it'd be awesome.
But you know how hard that is to try a baseball swing where you swing up, and you've got a ball that's going up at the same time, and you got to cross paths.
I mean, you've got 2.5 inches that you've got to get to at the right spot.
I used to always try to tell those boys that. I said, you take a 6-foot guy on a 1-foot mound with a 1 foot, his arms with another foot up there. So you got a ball coming from 8 foot high down to 3 foot, and you got the same launch angle. You're going to meet that thing parallel. If you've got a pretty good swing, you've got a great chance of crossing that ball in that path. But when you take a softball pitcher and that person's trying to hit the ball out of the park or trying to take that swing, and that ball's a rise ball, and you got a swing and a ball going in the same motion or both of them swinging up, that's a hard thing to do.
I'd still like to see it.
Well, I remember, Morgan Long was 12, I guess. We was still out here in Dixie Youth, and, Morgan threw it pretty good.
Mm-hmm. She could throw.
I decided at practice one day I was going to get in there and just see because the girls couldn't hit it. It was pitiful. And I'm like, look, it can't be that hard. I just want to see what it looks like. So I get in there and I pick a bat up and I walk up there and listen. Morgan throwed about 3 balls by me, and I was standing there like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I can hit the thing. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I quit catching them after 12U.
Yeah,
it scared me to death.
Well, the ball don't fly right. It don't move right. It's coming from a totally, and a softball swing and a baseball swing are 2 totally different swings. You can't, more your softball is real short, compact, get it to the ball.
I was watching a sports science. They used to do sports science shows on ESPN. They was talking about the difference in the baseball and softball and being able to hit it. And it was such an amazing – I never thought it was that much different because they were talking about what we just said, the speed and the movement of the ball and things like that was so hard to do.
Well, you take a 70-mile-an-hour softball pitch, it's like looking at like a 105-mile-an-hour baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's – ball's going to be ripped to the first baseman.
Get him third.
Yeah, all right.
Move him up to third with 1 out.
Bring him run 90 feet away.
Yeah. So, Greg, do you still lose sleep thinking about the COVID season?
Oh, gosh, yeah. That was terrible.
I mean, what was your life like that month?
Well, you kept thinking that actually killed some turkeys that year. I mean, I actually got the turkey hunt. That's the first time I actually got to go turkey hunting. But
infield's in.
Yeah, they're trying to stop this run from
they can't let this one score. But it was very, very different, and we knew we had a pretty good team too. You know, that's what we played 2 games on a weekend tournament that we hosted here and beat, you know, a couple of good teams. And
it was the first year without the private schools, right?
Right. We just come off the runner-up. Was that a runner-up
season?
Yeah,
you just come off that.
Well, we had a win and then a runner-up, and then felt like we had a good chance to make a run, especially our first couple of games. And then we really, I mean, everybody I think thought it's going to be a couple of week deal. You know, we're going to be out of school 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We'll crank it back up. So everybody kind of, you know, do some work while you're off. Don't sit at home. You know, get out and do something. And then, man, after 2 or 3 weeks, and they just shut everything down. And, you know, we was talking about, you know, it was bad for us, but, gosh, it was really bad for Loretta that year. You know, they were in the state championship.
Boys and girls.
Like they were, you know, their basketball team, I think, was right there in the – were they in the finals or semis?
They had won their first game, and then that was it. But their boys really had a good shot that year too.
But that was one of those that, man, I guess that was more sickening than really not knowing what you might have, and they knew what they had. So, you know, you feel sorry for anybody who got to that point.
Well, you know our tennis team would have won another one.
Well, sure.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to wonder about that.
Well,
it's still it makes me sick to think of all the opportunities lost.
That was my oldest daughter. That was her senior season, too. I had her and Tori. You know, had played all those years travel and stuff, and you know, not just because it's her, of course, but I mean just a whole bunch. But you know, you get to that season and you don't really have graduation, you don't really have, you know, a ball season, whatever. It just all of a sudden ends. And
Keegan's gonna hit that ball in too. It's burnt. He's burnt. That's gonna win the ball game right there. Keegan McCafferty hits a ball in the left field for a double.
But close on that note, that's kind of one of those things you tell the kids too. You know, like don't take anything for granted because that season shut down all of a sudden, and you didn't know when it was going to be over. I mean, just your whole softball career just ended right there. But
I like how you put the COVID ball out in the outfield because you kind of – I think that's your way of saying, you know, we probably had it that year.
Yeah, we done that a little bit of fun. But,
yeah.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me up here. I didn't mean to talk through the whole thing.
No, that's great.
Enjoyed it.
We didn't the viewers didn't drop off for nothing, so
didn't nobody go away when Greg got on. But Summertown is going to get Forrest here, 14-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. So another big win for Summertown baseball. I think that puts us over 500.
It does, yeah.
Now,
we're over 500.
We're 13-12 now. So keep rolling. We do have a game tomorrow. Has it been canceled? Is that what you told me earlier?
There's no game tomorrow.
They ain't nobody told me that yet. But
yeah,
we
could play the softball team. They're off too.
No, we carry these boys over there, and they get beat by that softball team. We'll never play again. I'm telling you. I've seen Greg's pitchers throw, and these boys would be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Kane and Grayson and look,
hey, we did that. We did that in high school.
Yeah.
We had the baseball team had to hit opposite-handed.
Yeah,
and we went against the softball team.
They could hit right-handed. I think they could hit right-handed and struggle over there. And if we done that right now, we probably would not have a baseball team next week. They'd quit. I mean, they'd go home and just say, look, we're done. We can't, good Lord. Especially because half these boys have got girlfriends over on that team. When the girlfriend beat them, they would just have to retire. They'd hang their cleats
Never
up.
Play again.
They'd go home and stop mopping floors and crap.
Yeah. So as of now, we don't play anybody again until Lewis County here on Monday.
Yeah. Lewis County, big game for Summertown.
It's huge.
When is Loretta making up their Mount Pleasant?
I'm guessing the same day. So I'm not sure. But
it is. I did make a mistake on radio the other night. I said it at softball. I ain't said it on baseball yet. It is not a coin flip. They do not coin flip on the tie. It does go runs allowed.
Yeah.
Just to throw it out there.
And that's runs allowed in the district.
In the district.
Not head-to-head.
Not head-to-head. Runs allowed in the district, then head-to-head. So it goes to runs allowed in the district. Right now, we've allowed 18. They've allowed 16, if I've done my numbers right.
Yeah.
So they're 2 runs ahead of us.
And all I got to do is shut out Mount Pleasant.
What we need to do is shut out Lewis County, and Mount Pleasant needs to score 3 runs. And, we're
well,
good. But either way, I mean, our
they
boys,
shut out Mount Pleasant last time they played them.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. But it's going to depend on when that game's made up and who they got next and what they got going on and, who they're pitching. Like I said, the whole kid at Mount Pleasant and – they got some couple of kids that can swing it, and the whole kid can throw it pretty good. I mean, he's apt to go out and have a good game. So, but we'll get off here. For me, Greg Burleson, glad to have you today. Enjoyed it. Mr. Joe Cowton in here keeping up stats. Didn't get to say a whole lot today. And Mr. Will Pettis, the man that makes it all happen. It's Summertown Baseball on X Sports Network.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.